Christmas, you filthy animal. And a Happy New Year.
Hello, fellow followers. Welcome back to the Physical Media Show here on FanZcene Vids. With me tonight is Runner. And yes, Tom will be here. He's just running a little late. He said go ahead and start it, and he'll show up when he can. But he is on his way, for anybody who's wondering. Welcome, Runner. Glad to have you here.
Thank you for having me on. This is awesome. Christmas, it's on its way. One of the greatest holidays ever.
Yes, sir.
And
yes, sir.
That gunshot at the end is great.
You like that little gunshot at the end.
Like I almost laughed a little bit.
That's a good one. I like that. That's why I left that little sound in like that at the end, like that.
Yeah,
that was fun. But let's say hello to everybody's here at the moment. We have Random Brad, welcome as always. Dan Blackroyd, and a Happy New Year. Yep. And Orion Can, a Merry Christmas to you. And Deleted Scenes, hail to you, my friend. He says, I'm back to drop links and keep you disc masters in line. I can't read tonight. Yes, sir. And then we got, who else we got here? Tyrell72 says, hail, FanZcene and all. And hello, Cool Gamer. How are you guys? Glad to see you guys here. I'm hoping the crowd will come in soon. But yes, like I said, Tom is on his way. He's just running late. There hasn't been much in the way of physical media news here lately for releases. So I don't know if there's much we can go over there. But Runner, do you know we want to talk about anything before we get into the? Sorry, I didn't mean to pause there. You want to talk about anything before we go ahead and get into all this?
Let me check to see. Like, were there any like big like news going on? Like,
no, there was nothing new.
You know, we didn't really talk to. I feel like we didn't talk too much about that Warner Brothers trailer that came out like a week ago. Because I watched the replay.
Well, I kind of did, even though I know it wasn't here on my channel, but I've talked a lot about it.
Oh, well, no, because you guys talked more about it, I feel like, in the 4K for You show, because I watched the replay for that, and I'll be honest with you. No, nothing against any of you guys, but you didn't talk a whole lot about the other movies that that were mentioned in that trailer that are like, holy shit, like that'd be amazing if that came out on 4K.
Well, a lot of those already had 4Ks or Blu-rays. We just talked about the ones that we have not seen.
Yeah, I know. But
what's up, Inverse Opinion? Glad you're here, and Joey, glad you're here too.
But my whole point is you didn't talk about the ones that were in the trailer that have not gotten a release. Like,
which ones? Name some.
All right, name some. Eyes Wide Shut, The Hangover.
Why would we talk Eyes Wide Shut or The Hangover?
The Hangover is fucking great. Oh, Eyes Wide Shut, I can understand why you wouldn't talk about.
Eyes Wide Shut, I don't care. I like Hangover is cool. I like the movie, but I ain't craving a 4K of that movie. So
I am. Are you fucking kidding me? Just give me the first one on 4K. That's it. I don't care about this.
That's the only one that's worth anything is the first one. The rest of them I could care the rat's ass spout.
I agree. Well, I mean, 2 was okay. The third one is basically a shitty version of the.
Welcome, Rusty. Is it what?
No, I was just saying that
a shitty version of what?
I'm saying the third movie is a shitty version of the first one.
Both of them are just shitty versions of the first movie.
Not the second one. The second one, at least.
The second one is legitimately the same movie, except it's in the Philippines.
Yeah, I know, but like, I didn't hate that one as much as the third one. Like I can kind of watch 2, but I know it's not that great.
Part one's cool. I'm cool with the Blu-ray. I don't need a 4K. That's not something that caught my eye in that trailer. So that's why we didn't talk about that. Or Eyes Wide Shut, which is
that caught
a freaking boring ass movie.
Eyes Wide Shut. Watch it now. It's not that bad. I watched it like a few months ago for the first time. It's way better than people say it is.
Anyways, what some of the other ones?
Oh, what are some of the other ones?
Hail, Brian Bart.
I didn't think
Where's
about this.
Tom? Ask and you shall receive.
Oh, there he is.
Say my name 3 times.
Beetlejuice. Oh wait, that's the wrong one. Shit, I said it.
I disappeared. No, I'm here.
Oh no.
No, but my whole point, Greg, is like there were some things that were shown in that trailer that caught my eye. That didn't catch yours or the rest of you. Is what I'm trying to say.
I get you, but I think we covered a lot of them, a lot of good ones in that. So
no, you did.
What are we talking about?
He's complaining that we didn't catch some of the other movies in the 100-year Warner Brothers trailer, like The Hangover and Eyes Wide Shut.
I'm not complaining.
Yeah, we brought them up. We brought The Hangover up.
But in this show, you brought them up in 4K for you. I think. I don't know if you brought up The Hangover.
Yeah, but we also don't know if we're going to get 4K of all those either.
Yeah.
I see it happening. I do. If you're gonna,
doesn't The Hangover already have 4Ks?
No,
oh.
It doesn't.
At least probably get a 4K of the first one, but yeah.
I mean, I have all 3 movies on Blu-ray because I got the box set trilogy thing for like $10.
Nice.
But when it comes to releases, I guess Tom was right about the whole Dragon Slayer thing coming out. Did you hear about that, Tom?
Yep.
Well, I actually did get some information on the Superman 4Ks. I don't know if you guys know about them. Somebody sent me an email about them.
Oh no! Shit.
Really?
Yeah, about what they're doing.
I did drop the one news about it only being Superman. The 5 movies they're counting second film twice.
Donner's cut twice. Yeah.
I did.
What else did you find out?
Yours, Tom?
I found out about what they're doing to how they're scanning them. Apparently, Warner Brothers has like one of the top 4K master scanners, whatever they call them over there, is working on these. The first movie is they're going back through the camera negative. They're fixing all the issues from the first one. They're removing wires and dirt. They said I did see that they mentioned about that. And then like with the Donner cut, what was the guy that he emailed me? He said they're going back through the camera negative of everything, even the stuff that was shot to put it in. Somehow they actually they got it on film, and they're not going back to like beta tape things.
Yeah, they put out a film print when they did the 2006 version or whatever it was.
Yeah. So they're going straight back to camera negative for everything on that, and for whatever reason,
they're not redoing the special effects, but they're going to be scanning them off of a film.
Yes, they're not redoing, but they'll be scanning them off of film. And the guy that actually created those back in the day actually made dupes of them for whatever reason, but they are not using the dupes. They're going to use straight camera negative and stuff. I wish I would have wrote it all down or looked at the email real quick.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Like, because what you're talking about is when they did the Donner cut. Those scans are scans of dupes, and they're only like 1080.
Yeah.
Or slightly over 2K or whatever. And then for this version, they're doing all new scans of the negative. So all the Donner footage in 4K. But the scenes that they had to do digital effects for, when they did those effects, they had the system spit out a film version of those too.
Yeah.
So what they're doing for this is they're going in and they're just scanning that film of those effects instead of trying to convert them or something within the computer, which is kind of a whatever,
Yeah.
Compared to if they do as good a job as like the Frighteners did, then I think that's the better way to do these scans. Because I'm curious if that's why those look so good or not, because I have not quite figured out what they did with those, because compared to some other CGI scenes I've seen in other movies, the Frighteners is like above and beyond.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to possibly getting that eventually.
And see, that's the way they would have done that film then. That was old enough that how they did those CGI shots, they probably don't have the original files anymore. They may, and maybe they up-converted them and recombined them, but I'm more apt to believe they just still had that film left on hand from when they spat that film out for the negative, and they just scan that for these versions. Is what I'm thinking.
Yeah, but I got the email. I pulled it up. It says that all 4 of them are being remastered by the master colorist at Warner Brothers. I don't know his name, so whoever he is, he's like the top 4K master at Warner Brothers, colorist master at Warner Brothers.
Famously, one of the last films was put out like that on film was where it's technically digitally scanned onto film was Jason X.
Oh, really?
The whole film was not done in like the typical way. Like they did a digital version of it and spat out the prints that way, I guess.
Nice.
It was weird. Yeah, there's a whole deal about it on the DVD, I think.
That's crazy. Yeah, it says that the opticals had been filmed out to 35 millimeter negatives. Yep. So you were right there. And that's about it, other than what we talked about. Yeah, that's just some guy sent me that email, but it's actually on the Cape Wonder Facebook group. So, well, they had it there, but it looks like it's gone now. So, but that was the rumor going around, and there will be no.
The only downer was no
extended cuts.
Extended cut for some reason. I don't understand this.
Yeah, I don't get that either.
I don't care if we get the 3-hour TV cut or not, but at least Donner's final cut. I don't. That makes no sense to me.
I know. I would think that they theorize that the Warner Archive will release them on Blu-ray if they ever get another re-release, all the extended versions. So
well, you're already releasing the Donner cut here.
Exactly.
Like it kind of feels almost like it's kind of a kick to the nuts to anybody who's already bought the original film. It's like, okay, if you're doing this re-release now, we've got the theatrical cut already in 4K.
Mm-hmm.
Give us, the extended cut.
Go back through and do that since the negatives are there. So,
well, yeah, clearly you have them. So, yeah,
exactly. But before we move on, one more time, is anything? Brian Barth here says, "What do you guys think will be added to the 100 film? Any ideas you guys have before we move into the showcases of tonight?"
I don't know.
Well, we already know Dirty Harry. We're going to get them.
Yeah.
It sounds like they're going to do a new release, at least one new release every month. I
gotta tell you all something. There's a someone took a picture and posted on Twitter. The 4K slipcover for Black Adam has the 100 Warner Brothers.
I saw that, the sticker on it.
So
yeah, but does Black Adam matter now? So
true, but you
really.
understand. You're. It doesn't really matter, but you understand where I'm coming from, right?
Yeah, I get you.
Like I feel like they're gonna do that for their releases for next year, because that film is coming out or is releasing next year.
Yeah.
So I can see that happening for their new releases coming out.
But yeah, from what we understand, they're going to do like a new major release every month. That could be a box set. We have no idea. Plus, they're also supposed to do some big, huge 100 film collection that I believe is going to be released in 4 quarters. Sorry, not 3, 4 quarters of 25. So I'm thinking similar to the Columbia collection or the what was the one they did for the 30 films?
Pictures.
Oh, Sony Classics, yeah. So they'll probably release one of those every season, and then we already know we're getting the Dirty Harry collection. Mm-hmm. We know we're getting the Superman box set. So right there's 2 months.
Yep.
And then you can probably figure The Exorcist will be one of them. What else did they mention already that we know of? There was another big one, I think, besides The Exorcist that we already knew about.
There was another.
We just heard about Ben-Hur, and I think they have the rights to Ben-Hur because I think that's in their trailer.
Ben-Hur was one we noticed. Yeah.
We're not sure if they're gonna separate the MGM to WB titles, because I kind of agree with R&B to a point. He put out there
I was gonna ask you, Tom, about the whole statement R&B had on, and like
some of those,
using MGM
to a point. Like I'm like, yes, a lot of those classics, Warner Brothers should not be using them. But the other side of it is Warner has had control of some of those movies longer than MGM ever did. So when you get to a point, like, who gives a fuck? But once you get to like the classics, like, yeah, they really shouldn't be using Gone with the Wind or Ben-Hur or, anything that's very, or Wizard of Oz, for instance. that is very associated with MGM more so than any way, shape, or form Warner Brothers.
You know what's fun? You know what's funny, and this just shows how fucking young I am. I thought for a while that 2001: A Space Odyssey was Warner Brothers. I come to figure out it's MGM.
Yeah, that's another one, and that's the one. You know, there's like a cutoff there because the 86 is where the cutoff is for the titles that they have. I believe it's either 85 or 86, and it's only MGM titles, nothing that was MGM UA. So that's why they don't have the Bond or the Rocky titles. And at that point, like, at this point, certain ones
Rocky's
of those
coming out too.
Turner has owned them since 94, 95, somewhere in there. So like a lot of those movies that were only like 10 years old now, they have technically been under Warner's banner longer than they were under MGM's. So those I don't give a shit about, but I highly doubt there's too many in that time frame that are all that much to fucking brag about, because that is outside of the Rocky films, MGM didn't necessarily have a great a bunch of movies in that run. So that was when they're in their down phase. So again, I'm with Robert, is they shouldn't be using some of the classics now.
Yeah. What's funny though about the Rocky thing and all them is like Cinemuseum is putting out Exorcist on the, it's going to do a special 4K the Exorcist stuff. And from the one image I had, it looks like they're also going to do the Rockies too from Cinemuseum and special steelbooks. So
yeah, that's where I saw that too.
Yeah.
You think they're gonna do a Nightmare on Elm Street thing for the
100? I hope so.
I was gonna bring that up. I think that might be one of them. Because now they have the New Line one. So
yeah, I know. I hope to God that's one of them.
I hope so too, because it's coming up on the anniversary and everything.
Yeah, outside of Ninja Turtles, most of New Line's bigger films have already been released, and 7 is another one we know that's coming up. Well, 7 we already know about, so I was going to say that might be one of them, but I don't know if they're just counting 7. Warner Brothers titles, or if they're going to be counting anything they released. But we do know that they said there's going to be a new brand new 4K release, at least 12 of them. So we can assume at least one a month. And in some cases, it's going to be multiple ones, like the Dirty Harry collection and the Superman films and stuff like that.
That does make me think, because in that trailer, it shows Freddy versus Jason, and that's the only Nightmare Net stuff and that was after Warner Brothers.
That footage is not. You got to watch that again. That footage is actually from the remake.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And the Jason, I believe, is from Freddy versus Jason, but the Claw is actually from the remake of Nightmare on Elm Street.
Oh, God. If we get a 4K of the remake before we get a 4K of the original, that's just... Oh, my God.
I highly doubt that will happen.
Yeah, I hope to God not.
I think, and this is why I've been saying to people, from what I heard from my source on this, and I heard it from multiple sources, basically, one on the DVD, Blu-ray side of things that knows somebody at Shout at that time, when that rumor first kind of permeated, that they were trying to get them, but New Line and Warner said no. They're holding on to those.
Yeah.
So and I'm sure that Critters and some of the other deals they made with them didn't do as well as they were hoping, or probably would have seen it right away. But
that's what was that? The one guy told me. He said that Scream Shout Factory was actually working on a box set, but then they were immediately told to stop. So.
If they were, it had to be in very early preliminary
I think it was
phases,
like a couple years ago, though.
Yeah, because kind of what I got is from my two sources from two ends. I got the one end, it was they wanted to. They were trying to get Warner to let them do it. So they maybe even mocked up some proposals for Warner. And that's maybe where that shit leaked out. Mm-hmm. And New Line and Warner said nope. And then similar to what then that same source said I heard later on when I brought it up to somebody else, they said, oh no, Warner's keeping them very close to the chest because they got plans.
Well, I hope they share those plans with their 100th celebration. I don't know
if those plans were this, or if they were, because I was assuming at that time they were just waiting for another film, like they were trying to get together a new Nightmare on Elm Street film, but they just release them in tandem with that. But that'd be my guess, is that could be one of the months, is a big box set of those. The Lethal Weapon films would make sense.
Oh yeah, the Lethal Weapon films, yeah. Speaking of Christmas.
Yeah, I mean, we could even you could even plausibly get, because a lot of Clint Eastwood's movies are in 4K now, and once you get like the Dirty Harry films, there's not that many. I mean, that are left in Warner's archive to to really upgrade to 4K. They probably have the masters. I would assume. I'm going to bet we're going to get a Clint Eastwood collection of some type.
That'd be cool.
I have a pretty good feeling on that.
That'd be nice.
And I'm just guessing. I'm not saying, I'm just guessing, because he's one of the most prolific directors. A good handful of his movies are already transferred to 4K. All of his newer ones have been 4K. So it really wouldn't take that much to transfer over the other, whatever is dozen or so, half dozen, somewhere in there, that number that they have left over under Warner's purview. Blech, if I could talk.
But I get you. It's fun to theorize. So hopefully we'll get some of these movies, and for all the bad shit that people think Warner Brothers is doing at the moment, at least we have the physical media side of stuff to look forward to. So that's exciting to me. But with all that being said, and with there not being really many new announcements this week, let's start with you, Runner. What do you got for your first pick of the night?
Run.
Run away.
I'm here.
Are we starting with Christmas ones, or are we going the other direction?
Whatever you got. I got most.
Because we're gonna have leftover Christmas ones next week. You know that, right?
Yeah.
You know what? I'll start this movie out just because it's the least Christmas out of all of them, but there is some Christmas in this. I wouldn't call this a Christmas movie, but it's fairly recent movie. We've all seen it. I got this for $10 at Black Friday, and a movie I thought it was a lot better than I expected to be, and that is Baz Luhrmann's Elvis.
How is that anything remotely? Well, I guess you'd do the one scene where he sings.
Exactly.
But other than that, I wouldn't.
There is some Christmas in it, Greg.
There's some Christmas.
That's one of the parts of the movies that's bullshit.
Yeah.
Because it was never meant to be a Christmas special. It just was always at that time. And yes, there was like one or two Christmas songs in it. But the way they present it in the movie is Elvis like hijacked the fucking show and changed it at the last minute. That's all complete bullshit. Same thing with like that song was written 2 years before Martin Luther King died. Like, so the whole thing is kind of, it's the way they present it in the movie. That's one of the few times I kind of had a head scratcher. And a few other there are people who are familiar with Elvis's history have said the same thing. Sorry, but otherwise, I actually like that movie.
Yeah, I do too.
I'm not too familiar with it. And Greg, I repeat myself again. It's the least Christmas thing I have in my list.
Mine are pretty much all Christmas, save for maybe one.
I know. Well, that's why I was showing this one first, because it's like I'm gonna start with the least Christmas thing I got, and then everything is Christmas.
Keep it on theme, Runner.
Well, it's kind of on theme.
No, I'll go with what he says. We'll start with the non-Christmas shit, and we'll go into the Christmas. All right. That way I can save my batshit review for last.
But I actually enjoy. I did not.
I got a batshit review.
There you go, batshit.
It's been a while since I've had a batshit review.
Oh, I can't wait because people love when you go off.
Oh yeah.
I found a batshit crazy movie this week. I don't have many movies this week, but I did.
I got about 4, so.
But yeah, so anyway, you were saying, I'm sorry.
No, I was going to say, I didn't think I would actually like Elvis, and I actually did, so yeah.
Yeah. And
it was good.
Yeah, Austin Butler was fantastic as the character. Tom Hanks is probably one of his best roles in a long time.
And I've said, it's probably one of the more accurate, even though I know a lot of people are like, oh, I love that Kurt Russell one. I'm like, you do realize that's one of the most sanitized versions too, right? Like,
it kind of is. I like it too because I like John
it's a
Carpenter.
Great love letter to the king, but this is like, if you want, this is the one that actually shows the type of shit that Colonel did.
Yeah,
exactly.
Though I will say they did sugarcoat Elvis's drug and womanizing a bit. They didn't quite, but yeah. But other than that,
they don't really shy away though from telling us the facts about Priscilla, though. So
no, they didn't. No, they didn't. They did.
That's one of the first times that's actually been presented in a way that's probably more realistic too.
Yeah.
So, and the drug use you can kind of blame on Tom. Tom was also pushing that shit heavy duty.
Yeah. So, but I will say it was a lot better. My only really complaints, which we've talked about before, was I did not care for the modern music that they slip in, and it always seemed to happen every time he went back to the his old like the city part, to hang out with all them. It's just like, why did that always have to the music have to go modern?
That completely took.
That's the only time it feels like a Baz Luhrmann film.
Yeah, that is the only time. But then, like, when it's just like him and the Colonel and Scylla and all the like his life story and stuff in the Vegas, it really feels natural.
Pretty authentic.
And then like the Baz Luhrmann shit that he just had to slip in like early on in the film was just ridiculous.
Yeah, I don't get it. I don't know why he'd do that.
It's his style.
Yeah. Never been a real
but
big
it's like
fan
the
of him.
least of all his of all the Baz Luhrmann films. It's like the least of his, right? Like that's the thing you can say about it. Like,
yeah, it is
as many little annoying bits there are. It could have been 10 times fucking worse.
Yeah,
it's true.
It's true.
Just watch Moulin Rouge.
I hate Moulin Rouge. That's why I'm not a fan of Baz Luhrmann.
People I know, yeah, I barely like his Romeo and Juliet. I liked it at the time it came out, but I still have the same feeling now as I did then. Still a little too long. And if you're gonna change the swords to guns, just change swords to guns.
Yeah. They put swords on the gun. They just wrote sword.
And not only that, I was kind of like sitting there going, I respect them for keeping the Shakespearean speak.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, I think they should have modernized it. Like actually had some legit like gangsters or whatever come in and do their own interpretation of the dialogue to where it was more street slang, to where it's still its own poetic thing, but you know what I mean, like more modern kind of but again, that's just me fucking
I agree.
I think I saw parts of that Romeo and Juliet movie.
The thing is, that's the one they like to show in schools now, Runner, because the other one's problematic.
Yeah.
Well, what do you call
with
it?
Jenny? What's her name? Or not Jenny?
I know you're talking about, but yeah.
What the hell's the name of her chick before she was actually?
Is it Olivia something?
I can't remember who it is now. She's a famous actress, but now I can't remember her name. Yeah,
she's the one in Black Christmas, right?
I think so.
Okay.
Yeah. It shows her titties, and she was not exactly illegal at the time.
At the
depends on where you live.
Well, I mean, yeah. Like they shot it. Did they shoot it in France or whatever? Because it's like legal there.
Yeah, so. And I think she was 16 or 17. But yeah, Olivia Wilde, I think, is
like
a
week away. I think that's what it was like. She was 17 and her birthday was a week away, but they went ahead and they like just pull them out. Yeah, there you go.
It's
Olivia Hussey.
Basically kind of a questionable, but by the time the movie would have been released thing. Hussey, is that what it was? Hussey, yes.
Yeah, I think that's her name. Pretty sure.
That's the version they showed us at fucking
I'm surprised they showed you that and not the other one.
Yeah, no, they didn't show us the Baz Luhrmann one. They showed us the old one.
That's the one I saw in school, and that's one I saw multiple times in school, to be honest with you.
They didn't show us the titty scene.
That's the scene we watched several times in school.
I've only talked to a couple of kids, like my kid knew or whatever, that they were talking about Shakespeare or whatever. And yeah, I think I had to sign a thing for my kid to watch the PG-13 Baz Luhrmann one. I'm like, oh, they must have switched out. And they were talking about it and stuff, and I'm like, yeah, that's not the one we watched when I was a kid.
The only one I think I said it on here before, but like the only time my parents ever had to sign anything to watch a movie was Schindler's List because of the nudity in Schindler's List. That was it. It's like the Romeo and Juliet stuff.
Nowadays they make you do it for everything.
Yeah.
Which I don't mind. Like that's kind of, well, of course, where I'm from, that's probably why. Because we have a little bit more control over what they teach in school in Wisconsin. So yeah.
Yeah. But I
don't think they would have showed it for that. No, in our school they tried fast forwarding through that bit, of course.
But that's a decent pick, Runner. What do you got first, Tom? What's your first pick?
All right. Speaking of Runner, we love it when he's quiet, right?
Yeah.
Like most youngins. So we love it when he's on a silent run.
Silent running. That's awesome.
So now I have multiple fucking copies of this movie.
Wait, you have the arrow, so that means one's Blu-ray, one's 4K, but you can't tell the difference. There you go.
The 4K one also has a much more glossy, as you can see, glossy.
Oh yeah, it does. It look shinier.
And then the Blu-ray has much more a flat finish. But otherwise, yeah, they're damn near identical. But the other big difference, though, is the Blu-ray is from a 2K scan. This is from a beautiful 4K scan. Now, this ain't the greatest movie in the world. It has not aged all that well. But if you understand what went into this movie for the special effects, and especially if you watch it with something like 5/25/77, which is like a big, huge love letter to like Spielberg, George Lucas, and Douglas Trumbull.
Yes, sir.
And a little bit of Kubrick, of course. But, Douglas Trumbull being one of the major parts of it, though. And this, of course, was one of his most famous films. And the effects in this are fucking amazing. Right? Like the optical effects that they did, the ship effects, even though you can kind of tell how they did some of the stuff, it still looks just gorgeous. And the big, huge ship, even though you can tell it's just a big miniature, or a bigature, as they like to call them. I mean, they just did a great job with that. And, doing the little, they would use a little projector to put like a square window of somebody looking out, like Bruce Dern looking out, and then it would zoom out from there, that kind of stuff. I'm assuming that's probably one of the first times they've done that besides 2001 and shit like that. But the movie itself has a very kind of hippy dippy story to it.
Well, it was like the 70s, wasn't it? So
yeah, it was 72. And I believe the book was written maybe a couple of years before that or something like that. But yeah, definitely in the Summer of Love era. So like it has a very environmental friendly kind of, to the point where it's like nowadays you almost question some of the things that happen, but you could see a lot of SJWs going like, yeah, because not to spoil too much, because not a lot happens in this movie. That's the problem. It's only 90 minutes and barely 90 minutes. I think it's only 1 hour and well, it says 90 minutes, but it's like 129 with really short credits. So it's the opening credits are the longer credits, and then it's an older film. But like the story is basically you've got these ships that they've got these big domes on, and these domes all have like forests in them with wildlife and vegetation and all that kind of stuff. And these guys are obviously out there in space waiting to repopulate the Earth. Because the Earth doesn't have any more vegetation on it, I guess. It's kind of what they, kind of what they say here. But they get the call from Earth to abort and come home. Well, Bruce Dern's character doesn't like that because that means they end up blowing up the forests. So he ends up killing...
I forgot Bruce Dern was in this.
Yeah, he ends up killing all the people that he's with to save this forest. And he goes on this silent run. That's why it's called that, to where he hopes they lose him or whatever. It's a really weird kind of setup. I've tried to understand the film. There's certain bits about it I'm just like not quite sure what they were trying to get across with it, because I love Bruce Dern as an actor, but I hate this character. Like there's nothing really redeeming about this character outside of his interactions with the robots and stuff, which you can tell the robots are clear, like R2-D2 came from these robots clearly.
Yeah.
Like that's where
that's where you got the ideal.
Yeah, Bruce Dern got a Bruce Dern. He's good in it, but it's like he's a difficult character to like. Very difficult character to like. Because he's just so ruthless in he's a dick to begin with. Like he's a buzzkill to begin with, and then like just after he kills everybody, he's like, you're just like, dude. And he goes through this whole charade with the home base and everything, and you're like I said, I'm really not quite sure. The ending kind of didn't make sense to me all that much, and maybe I've got to because I remember watching it years ago.
Yeah, it's been a long time since I've
not
seen
liking it all that much. I don't understand how the fuck they got a G rating for this. It's not like there's a lot that's bad in it, but it's like the between the murder and the blood and stuff. It's like, dude, that's pretty hardcore for even 1970s. You'd think that would have got it a PG. It
was very friendly with that.
I don't know how fuck, unless it's because even being a sci-fi, like with the actual violence and the killings, the murders, all that, to me, just like, I can't believe this is PG-13.
Yeah.
Or I mean G and not PG. I mean, sorry.
Was
Today it wouldn't even be PG-13 or anything, but yeah.
Yeah. Was it even was the PG label around?
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you had. I think it may have been GP then, but yeah, they did have it because they only had the three levels then.
They probably used some connections
Because
in
Jaws
that
was
movie.
rated PG, for instance. Exorcist,
yeah.
I think, is rated R. Godfather's rated R. That would have been around the same era. I'm trying to think of something that was PG in that era, though. I think was somebody help me in the audience. Was Chinatown R or PG? I think that was R because I think there's some nudity in it in a whole thing. Yeah, so that would have been R. What was something PG in that era?
Oh, I know. I bet they used.
I think that a couple of the Planet of the Apes got like a GP or PG rating.
Oh yeah.
For some reason.
I don't remember there being nudity in Chinatown, but I've only seen that movie once.
I don't know, but I bet they used Steven Spielberg's connections to get a G on that picture. That's what I think.
Oh, on Silent Running?
On Silent Running, yeah.
No, I doubt it because this is way before Spielberg was anything.
Oh, that's true. That's true because it was
3 years before
Douglas
Jaws.
Trumbull still was, yeah. So.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's the only reason why they may have is because it was a sci-fi story, and Douglas Trumbull at that time probably had a lot of pull. I guess I don't know. I have no idea how they. Because just the fact that another person kills 3 people, just really kind of makes me go, "How the fuck is this G?"
This is. You gotta love 70s sci-fi, right? I mean, they got away with a lot of
it's dark.
stuff.
It's a dark film.
Very 70s, huh? Because a lot of the time, those 70s movies get really dark and stuff.
Mm-hmm. In that sense, it is. I mean, I don't think that's the tone they were going for. They're trying to go for this hopeful hippy dippy. They even got Joan Baez singing the fucking theme song. It's just a movie that didn't age all that well, but you can really appreciate it for the effects. And it's a weird little story. I mean, it's not I would have been interested. This is a movie I would have been interested in seeing a remake of. And I think Bryan Singer or something like that was supposed to be working on a remake. I can't remember who now, but yeah.
I think
it just never came to fruition.
Yeah, I think even the guy, if I remember, the director of 525/77, I watched that thing where he talked about, the special features on it. He brings up Silent Running as one of his top favorite movies because they asked him, because he said Star Wars isn't even his favorite movie. It's 2001: Space Odyssey, Star Wars, and I think he said Silent Running.
Oh yeah, he brings up Silent Running a lot in 525.
Yeah, I think he said Silent Running was third, and
because that was before Star Wars. Basically, that was the only thing he had in between there.
Yeah, and I think he said, if I can't remember, but I do think he said maybe he wouldn't mind seeing that one being remade. I think he does say that in his the special feature where he said out of all the movies he wouldn't mind seeing a remake of Silent Running. So yeah.
It did age poorly. I can't give the movie a real high rating. I can give a movie 2 different ratings. As a movie, it's at best a 5 or 6.
Right.
But if I'm rating it on its historical value and that kind of a thing, and for the time being and the special effects it has, it's definitely up in that upper 8 range. But yeah. It's no 2001.
That's true. But I mean, it shows you what Douglas Trumbull could do. So
yes, in that respect, but otherwise, it's kind of overrated.
It's true.
Logan's Run is probably the one that's aged better as far as that era's sci-fi. The effects didn't age as well, but the story aged better. This is the other problem. The story didn't age as well, but the effects aged better. These effects are amazing for today.
That's true. I mean,
they're nothing that advanced either, but you can definitely see where Star Wars got it. A lot of Star Wars.
You can see the intricate set designs and miniatures and stuff.
Just in how it was shot and how they got away with it.
Yeah.
Clearly, where George took a lot of inspiration.
Yep. I'll give it that. That's like you said, culture impact was good on that front. So yeah. I guess any fun words? I guess move on to me. All right.
That kept me silent.
It did.
Yeah. Children should be seen.
I'm kind of surprised that's one you didn't watch in film class, but yeah.
No.
But if you watch 2001, it hits a lot of those things anyway. So
yeah.
They didn't show us 2001. I think we had this discussion, Tom.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
The only Kubrick film that they showed us was The Shining for some fucking reason.
Because your teacher's a fucking moron.
He's a basic bitch, is what he is.
Oh, that's
because any film class that doesn't show 2001 has no business calling itself a fucking film class. I'll be honest with you. Like, that's almost like a requirement.
You're not wrong. Like, I honestly like either that or like A Clockwork Orange would have been.
It would have even been better, to be honest with you. Yeah, like I love The Shining. Don't get me wrong, but as far as like showing Kubrick's,
it's not one that you would show in a film class.
It's not his best filmmaking. No.
So I said his basic bitch.
It's probably my favorite movie of his, but it's not like.
Oh, it's probably the most rewatchable one. I'll give you that. Clearly,
yeah, it's like the most.
It's his most commercial. Exactly.
Yeah. There you go.
It's his most commercial film, and then besides maybe Full Metal Jacket, but even that one's a bit hardcore.
Yeah. See, as much as I love Full Metal Jacket, that's not one I'd show in my film class if I were to teach one.
No, hell no. And that's the thing is, Kubrick, if you're going to show shit in film class, if you're not going to show 2001, at least Dr. Strangelove.
Yeah.
Like one of those two.
Absolutely.
And like you said, if not those two, then Clockwork Orange. Because at least those three, you can sit there and go, yeah, those show all of Kubrick's talents in one film.
It does.
As opposed to like Shining, which is like basically Kubrick filming a play.
Yeah. Like here's the thing about 2001 is I do think that is an overall good film to watch, to like show in like a film class. The only reason I wouldn't pick that is because of the runtime, and I think my teacher wanted to pick movies that had like the right amount of runtime for the students to like watch, because he didn't pick a whole lot of movies that were like more than 2 hours.
I can understand that too, but there's called you can pick it up next time.
Because I've only seen 2001 once, and it took me like 3 days to watch it. Not because I didn't like the film, because it was too damn long. You know, the visuals and all that were amazing, but like I need to rewatch it in order to.
You need to be either inebriated or stoned. No, I'm just kidding. Don't do that.
Okay.
Not unless you already do it, then whatever.
No, because like almost every like other Kubrick film I've seen, like all in one sitting. Like it took me like 3 days.
2001 was made for stoners. Let's be real. Like,
or unless you're like the guy from 520, whatever. It's because his ancestors touched the monolith. He has evolved. So
I'll say this: it's probably one of Kubrick's more relaxing films.
Oh yeah, it's meant to be like a visceral experience along with the oral experience. Yeah. Oral with the AU, not the OR.
I mean, like I'll say, like obviously the visuals in that movie are like some of the best. Like that, those are like some of the best parts of the movie, at least to me.
No, but I do love bringing up 525 in that notion, though. I do love that his breakdown of the movie is pretty spot on.
Yeah, it is. That was actually a really good movie. Like I said, though, it was a little too long. Yeah, and I could have maybe done with some better special effects, but I also know that he wanted some of the special effects to look really bad, so
that's why I didn't really jump on him either. I'm like, I think he meant for a lot of these to look like this, so yeah, I'm not going to gripe too much.
And you know, honestly, if you really watch them, you can really see where Space Invaders came from. So you can really see that. And according to him, the story of how Space Invaders got made is even a better story than the story he told in that movie. So
I can imagine that's one of those movies that gets probably better. The story behind the movie is probably more exciting than the movie ended up being itself. And I like the movie. Don't get me wrong.
Me too.
It's kind of lost in obscurity now. But
he said that story is actually much more better than the story of what he told in 525-77. So, but I guess we'll move on to me and keeping it with sci-fi theme. This is my least Christmas movie, but it does take place on Christmas, and that would be Dark Angel, or as some people know it as, I Come in Peace.
Oh yeah, I haven't seen that for fucking ever.
I know, man. This is the Scream Shout Factory, whatever.
Oh,
It's got
is it a newer one or an older one?
No, it's one of the early ones. It's got I Come in Peace. There you go.
That's the way I know it, is I Come in Peace.
Yeah. Dark Angel was its original name, and then they changed it when it released. So.
Hey, Greg, is it a canon movie?
No, it is not a canon movie.
Oh, it's not? I thought it was.
It's an MGM movie.
Is it an MGM canon movie, though?
No, it's no canon. It's MGM Vision.
Okay. Oh, okay.
I just assumed it was canon because there's.
I kind of thought so too, but I haven't seen it in like 30 years.
It feels like it could be a canon movie, but I love this movie. I haven't seen it in a long time myself, and I watched it, because it's Christmas. It takes place at Christmas. It is just a freaking blast of a movie. This, how we talked Die Hard on your the other day, Tom. This is a Terminator ripoff. So like. How we talked about all the Die Hard ripoffs, Terminator ripoff here. So
it's probably in that dude's video, yeah.
Yeah. So this giant, almost 7 foot tall alien with long white hair comes to Earth, and
so it's also a little bit of a Predator ripoff.
Yes, a little bit of Predator ripoffs as well. He comes to Earth, and I love the simplicity of it because he just basically comes to Earth to get drugs to take back to his planet. That's his goal. He gets people high on heroin, and then like when they're gland and what's the gland called? I can't remember the name of the gland, but once it's like like with a mass amount of heroin, he sucks it out of their gland, and that's like a high-powered drug on his planet. So that's basically all he's there for. He's a freaking drug dealer. And then there's another alien cop chasing him, and then Dolph Lundgren and his FBI partner team up because they're investigating like a criminal gang, city gang, and then they get caught up in between this, and then they have to take down the alien guy. And it's just a fun movie. Dolph Lundgren's a badass in this, and if you're looking for a movie where actually Dolph Lundgren looks small, he looks small compared to this guy, because this guy was like almost 7 feet tall. He was a German. And so, like, when he goes up against him, it looks legit like it's a hard time, and it's just cheesy. It's fun. It's I believe it was actually filmed in the 80s, but it was released in like 1990. It's just fun. I love the cheesy one-liners. It's classic action, and I love the last line is the guy's like, "I come in peace," and Dolph Lundgren's like, "Yeah, but you go in pieces, asshole." So I love that line. It's perfect. So yeah, if you guys never seen I Come in Peace, check it out. It's a great fun watch. It does take place at Christmas time. Basically Christmas is in the background. You wouldn't even really know it's Christmas if you didn't see trees and ornaments every once in a while. And plus it takes place in Dallas, Texas. So there's like no snow or anything. So it was real fun. Oh yeah. The guy shoots like a CD thing out of the alien. He's like shoots like a CD thing out of it. Yeah, it goes around, just cuts people's throats and stuff.
I only vaguely remember it, man.
Yeah. Pineal gland. Yeah, there you go. Thank you, Random Brad. I couldn't think of it. Pineal gland. Yeah. Yeah, so when the Shout Factory sells it as Dark Angel because that was its original name. But they changed it to I Come in Peace when it was actually released in theaters. So just search for I Come in Peace. You'll find it better that way than searching up Dark Angel. Because if you search Dark Angel, you're just going to get that Jessica Alba TV show. Yeah. But yeah, it's a fun movie. I had a blast.
I just found it for $9.99 on Amazon.
Yeah, it's really, really cheap. It's not expensive. Yeah. It's one of the earlier ones, and I don't think it's one you have to worry about going to OOP anytime soon.
No, I don't look like it.
Yeah. It was just a fun watch. I hadn't seen it so long, and I was like, oh, it's Christmas time. I'm gonna watch that. So it was fun. It was a blast. It's just, you gotta love those old cheesy B sci-fi movies from that time. And then plus, Dolph Lundgren, I think it was it's probably one of his better performances outside of like all the other stuff he did, where he was really allowed to, sort of act a little bit, but also just be cheesy and kick ass. But that's about all I got for you guys on that one.
Yeah, I wish I'd seen it in recent years.
Yeah, I figured I'd be the only one to have seen it at the moment. But I knew Runner had probably never seen or heard of it. I'm sure you had.
I think I've heard of it. I haven't seen it. Is it OOP?
No, it's like $9.99, super cheap right now.
Okay.
It's good. It's easy. It's fun.
I'll check it out. You think it's gonna come out on 4K anytime soon?
No, I don't think this is one that's going to get a 4K anytime soon.
I'm only asking because I'm very hesitant in getting a Blu-ray from Shout because, like, it's probably like it'll like in the next like few months or like maybe even a week when I get a Blu-ray from them. It's like, oh, a 4K of this is coming out. It's like, God damn it!
No, this has been out for quite some
No,
time from Shout, and I don't think this will ever get a 4K. I could be wrong. Somebody may eventually make a 4K out of it, but it's probably won't be Shout. So
okay, because I've had that thing. I've had that problem kind of with some of their releases. Like, was it like I bought Army of Darkness in the Fog, like the Blu-ray, like less than a year, and then it's announced that they're getting a 4K.
yeah,
Because I almost thought about buying a Bubba Hotep on Blu-ray, and I lucked out because I didn't think that was coming out in 4K, but it is.
that did surprise me, Bubba Hotep. But no, you don't have to worry about this get anytime soon. If at all, if it ever does get a 4K, it probably would be next Christmas, and it would probably be somebody else. But this has been out for quite a few years, so
Okay.
So, yeah. So what do you got for us? Your next one, Runner. What do you got?
All right. This next one I just watched. I also watched this one 2 days ago, very late at night. It was a pretty fun movie. I think Greg talked about this movie on his channel once, and I hadn't seen it. This came out last year. I wanted to watch it last year, but I guess the Blu-ray sort of came out later, and I wanted to wait for the Blu-ray, and I did. It's I don't know how to describe this movie very much.
Debbie Does Dallas.
No. That's not Christmas, damn it.
Depends.
Christmas
it depends on who's getting the gift in the end.
In the end, what?
You're not wrong. Here you go. It's Black Friday.
Oh, that's a good movie. I wish I would have bought that because that is really, really hard to find.
The Blu-ray?
Yes, that Blu-ray is very hard to find.
Oh yeah, I bought it like day one.
I wish I would have bought it. I was like, I watched it digitally, and then I was like, I'll buy it because it was around Christmas time, and it's like I didn't have the money to buy it.
Man,
so,
Greg hates digital so much he can't even say it right.
I know.
Seriously, it's hard to find because
it's hard to find, and it's kind of expensive. It's not like too expensive, but it's hard to find.
No shit.
Yeah, so especially the one you got, because they did re-release it with a different cover.
Oh no shit.
Yeah.
Like, because this is like the original like poster, I think, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
It's a variation on that cover, the other one they released.
Because I remember thinking about buying the DVD, but then I found out, a Blu-ray is gonna come out in like the next few months or something, and then like they stocked a few in Best Buy, and I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna buy it. It's Bruce Campbell.
I wish I would have bought it. It wasn't a bad movie. Can't say it's like the greatest movie I ever saw, but it was a fun movie.
It was entertaining for what it was, and I wanted to wait until like Christmas at least, because I think I tried watching a little bit of it, and it's like, it feels weird trying to watch it in the middle of the summer. I'd rather watch it on Christmas. And I did, and cool. It's like, it was cool. You know, some of the CGI parts were a little iffy, but it wasn't like a big deal. There were some characters I couldn't stand in this fucking movie. I feel like you had that problem too, right, Craig?
No, well, not really. I kind of enjoyed it.
Well, I don't get me wrong. I like the movie. I'm talking about the characters. Like some of them, like kind of get on my nerves, especially that big dude.
Well, like, yeah, he's supposed to be the annoying character. So.
I know, but fuck that guy, man.
See you later, Parrhead.
I'll
Shout
be
out
honest,
to everything you've been sending me too. So go ahead, sorry, Renner.
Pearhead. I'll be honest with you. I mean, I like Bruce Campbell in this, but it's probably one of my least favorite roles of his.
I mean, he plays Bruce Campbell, but he plays it a very different way. Plus, he's not quite the hero. So that's why I kind of liked it, because it's Bruce. I mean, yes, he's Bruce Campbell, but he's also, it's a little bit against type of what he's usually into.
Yeah, like I'll say this, for the most part, he doesn't he kind of is changing it up a bit, but then towards the third act is when he starts to become more of a Bruce Campbell type of character. If you know what I mean.
Yeah. Near the see, this is what I'm talking about. Like, TV discount has it for $23. Yeah, that's actually pretty cheap. Because I was looking around and I did see some other cheaper ones. But yeah, for that movie like that right there, with your whole the $23 is a little expensive, because that's a type of movie that would normally be like a $10 Blu-ray. To be honest with you,
yeah,
it really would.
Yeah, I was gonna say I bought it for much less than that.
Because I love the movie. It's my type of movie. It's a cheesy B horror movie with bad acting at times, really subpar CGI, but it's a fun watch, and it is a good Christmas horror film.
I'll be honest with you, the acting didn't bother me a whole lot in this movie.
No, most of the actors, like Devon Sawa, Bruce Campbell, the girl,
girl is probably the best part of the movie, in my opinion.
Them three are the best actors, and then they underused Michael Jai White. They totally underused him. And he's actually a pretty good actor in that movie. So
yeah, he was really good. I was kind of bummed out he got killed off.
Yeah, well, spoilers.
Who gives a fuck? If you haven't seen it, too bad.
And he goes out pretty early too, which was kind of shitty.
I don't know about too early, but sort of in the middle, I guess. I don't know. The new kid or whatever. Well, I don't know if he's the skinny guy. He kind of got in my nerves a little bit.
Oh yeah, he was all right though. I mean, that's the whole point. Is because they're all locked in the store with these alien creatures. It's like fear and paranoia start getting to them. So people are going to start getting annoying. So
I understand, and I'll be honest with you. This chick right here, she's a lot more hot in the movie than in this poster. Just
I had to be careful saying that she was hot, because apparently she was the little girl in Pan's Labyrinth. So
I have the 4K for Pan's Labyrinth. I didn't know she was the little girl in that, though.
Apparently she's a little girl in it, but she's a grown woman now, people. She's in her late 20s. So I can say she's hot.
Yeah, I didn't know that. I watched a little bit of Pan's Labyrinth, not all of it.
But that's a fun movie. I enjoyed it. It was good.
Yeah.
Yeah. But anything else? Are you ready to go?
Yeah, there's nothing else to really say about it. I thought about saying more. I wanted to say more about this, but I just don't have it in me.
I get you.
Watch Greg's review of this movie.
Yeah, watch my review of it. Tom, if you're ready for your next one, what do you got for your next one? I don't know if Tom's ready or not.
Tom.
Yeah, I was a little disappointed in the way. That's okay. Whenever you're ready, Tom, if you're ready.
Well, my next movie is not a Christmas movie yet, but it is a movie that originally came out on Christmas, and it is one I own multiple goddamn copies of. This was the first one I got way back when. I believe this is I don't fucking know. Distributive, I think it's French.
Oh, I thought that was Mill Creek for a second.
And this one's Japanese or Chinese. I can't remember which. I think it's Japanese. And then this one is Australian, I believe. Umbrella.
Yeah.
And this, of course, we got a little while back.
Yep.
Which is probably one of the most definitive versions of the film thus far, because it has the most special features, most of the deleted scenes and whatnot. Although I think there's still one deleted scene that's on some of these other ones that is not on this one, but I have to watch the TV version again, find out. But I don't remember seeing it than when I watched it before. And that is a bar scene where we see Jeff Bridges, it would be before everything else in the movie. So this is why I'm pretty sure it's not on the TV version. It's where he is he paid the bartender to drug a guy from the boat so he could steal his uniform, answering where he got the clothes.
Oh, yeah.
So that deleted scene is on a couple of these different versions that is not, and it's not on the Shout version to my knowledge, but it is, I believe, on this version, which we just got in the UK. I believe it's a German release of King Kong in 4K.
It's a horrible cover.
This is a horrible fucking cover. In fact, just to rub it in, not only does it have a horrible cover.
Released.
Yeah. Well, what's funny is it was released on December 17th of 1976. Oh, and that's the day I watched it. That's awesome. Which was ironic because that's the day I got it in the mail, was the day it came out. They give you a poster of it like you fucking need it.
Here's our horrible cover work in poster form.
In poster form. And this is like some good time shit, right?
It looks bad.
Now, if this was a poster for the original film, not so bad.
Right.
But this movie, no, this has nothing to do. And if anything, why not give us the iconic fucking...
No way in a million years would I ever guess that was Jeff Bridges in that horrible cover. It looks like...
Well, that doesn't help too, yeah.
Yeah, I would have dug the original cover art there.
But all right, so...
It looks like it looks like Val Kilmer when he has like the full grown like beard from The Doors, or
the Restoration.
Yeah, from was it fucking either Kurt Russell too? That's another one. He also looks like Kurt Russell in that.
Now the Restoration, though it was released by Studio Canal, was done by Paramount, and this is the first time I've ever seen Studio Canal actually put in front of the film that this Restoration was done by Paramount. Another company.
Right.
Although I do think they had this information in front of the more recent Schwarzenegger movie I reviewed, where it said they didn't have all the negative to it. Mm-hmm. So that might be something they're just starting to do naturally, is just tell you where the scan came from, if it's the negative, what have you.
They don't want to... If Paramount did this shit, we didn't.
Kind of, because there is some shots in this that are not... They got a lot of DNR, and you can tell. But for the most part, it's a fairly balanced picture. I mean, of course, the time of the film, you got to take that into consideration. Not the worst of Paramount's restorations, but it's not something I'd necessarily write home about. But it is an improvement, a huge improvement over the older scans, because even the Shout version comes from an older scan. Mm-hmm. They rescanned, or they did a brand new scan of the TV version. Now, here's where it really pisses me off. Because all the special features are over on the Blu-ray, which is a Blu-ray version of the 2K scan. So technically that Blu-ray is better than the Shout version. But on the 4K disc, this is where they lied to us, or at least insinuated we were getting the TV cut in 4K. No. It is the same exact 2K scan we got from Shout, only with excessive noise reduction added to it. No. Distractingly bad. And because I flipped over to the Shout disc, I'm like, I don't remember this looking so bad, because I remember telling you guys that scan looked really good. That's the best the movie ever looked. Too bad it didn't sound so good, because they didn't do shit with the sound, because according to them they couldn't. But I say, what the fuck's the difference? You just mix it with the 5.1 mix.
Yeah.
So what if the ad, because that's the other thing too, is they said they didn't have separate tracks and shit. There's a couple of the deleted scenes on some of these older releases I have, where they have the soundtrack with just the vocal.
Oh,
so
really?
You could have used that. You could have used that on the track, made your own new special, sound effects and stuff if you had to. Because all they do is loop the John Barry's various pieces of the score in the TV cut, and it don't fit it anyway. So you could have just at least done it in a better... I could probably put together a better version of it. It wouldn't be that hard. And I could add the bar scene while I'm at it.
There you go.
But no, actually, I have a soft spot for this, and I brought this up before, so I'm not going to dig too deep into this, because I brought the Shout one on last year. I have a soft spot for this movie, as I brought up then, for all the Kong films, actually, but this one specifically, because this was my first Kong film.
Yeah, that's
this movie
favorite.
Scared the ever-loving shit out of me when I saw it as a kid, because I saw it for the first time, and you can't believe this, on an itty-bitty little black and white screen, because we were camping, and I got so scared that my folks had to drive all the way back home from Iowa because I wanted to go home.
Oh man.
But that stuck with me all this time. It's one of my earliest memories as a kid. Like I had to be like 3 or 4 at this time. I don't even remember. I mean, its first broadcast on television was 78, I think. And they showed it over 2 nights. And that's the version they have in the TV version. That's the other thing. I didn't watch this version all the way through. I watched enough of it to see that it is like really DNR'd to shit. I don't know if they split it up on this version like they did the Shout version either. But it don't really matter. They just replay the credits and then cut back into the movie. So it don't matter. But yeah.
Yeah.
So there you go. It's not one I can highly recommend, but I'm sure it'll get a U.S. release before too long. But outside of the U.S., this movie has gotten a lot more special features. But what they did for the special features on this one is they're basically kind of recycled versions of the ones that are on Shout. Same company, but different intro. And most of them, as far as I can tell, are the same exact length. So I believe they're the same cuts. So I watched a couple of them. I'm like, I already seen this. So, just kept going through.
That's why I said when you told me about that, I was like, yeah, I think I'll just stick with my Shout one for
now until we get a US release. Yeah, you might as well. I mean, even though I do say the 4K version is a bit of a jump in quality because the scan that's on the Shout version is like a 10, 15-year-old scan. It's the same scan that's on those other 3 or 4 versions I just showed you.
Well, it is a Shout Select.
Scans. So. Yeah.
Brian Barth wants to know who owns King Kong, and by that do you mean like the character rights or
the version that I have here was the Paramount version?
Yeah. So I don't know if it.
But as of now, nobody really technically owns it. I think King Kong is technically public domain, but I think
maybe that's what he's getting at. I think it's in public domain.
It's a really shady kind of thing because Universal owns the rights to the book, though, and I believe Warner had some claim also to because of the movie. But
the most recent Kong movies are Warner Brothers, I'm pretty sure.
But because of the book, I think it's in public domain now. So I think it's just Warner has claim on the original film, and then of course the films that were subsequently released, obviously. But that's my understanding of the situation right now. Is that technically it's in the public domain, but Warner Brothers owns the version of it for certain versions, because. But here's the thing: when they made the movie back in the day, it was an original film, but they did a novel of it and put the novel out before the book came out, so they could register it. So there was it was a copyright situation, and I don't remember the exact logistics of it. So what happened was down the road there was this huge dispute on who actually owned it because Universal bought the rights to the book, but they didn't technically own the rights to the film of King Kong or a film version of it, other than if they were to make one. They didn't own the character outright, though. The character ended up falling into public domain because RKO Pictures went under and some other business until I don't know where it sits right now because of Warner Brothers buying Turner, which bought the rights to some of the older films like RKO and all that business. And this is another thing where we got into the whole Wonderful Life business too before in discussions where the whole copyright of that went like crazy for a while. I don't know where it's sitting right now, so I can't answer that. All I do know is that Universal lost a lawsuit against Nintendo because they claim they own the rights to King Kong when they tried to sue them over Donkey Kong. And they were real close to losing that case, but Nintendo found out that Universal didn't technically own the rights to the character. They just owned the book rights to the story that was written. So if that makes sense. It's really convoluted as hell.
So will we get a King Kong, which not that it isn't a horror movie as it is, but could we get a King Kong horror movie like the Winnie the Pooh and all that?
Well, at this point, yeah, it already is one of the most original horror films of all time. So, I mean, that's the way they boasted it, as a romance and a horror film, kind of the same thing with Dracula, You never know. I mean, I'm one of those that I'll take any new King Kong. I love King Kong. I've seen, I don't know how many different versions. I'm not afraid of remakes. I love Kong Skull Island. So
I like Kong Skull Island too.
I like Skull, yeah.
And I like how Kong Skull Island even has some nods to the 76 version. So, yeah.
I remember seeing Kong Skull Island in the theater with my dad. It was awesome.
Well, I like the idea that it takes place in the 70s because it's also the last time where it's believable that there would be unexplored territory. because of satellites, and that's why they figured it out, right? Like, so like at that time too, I also liked how they updated the story in 76 to where it's an oil tanker going out instead of it being this, you know, film crew exploratory thing. Like, yeah, it makes a little bit more sense. And then you also have, you know, the ruthless oil tycoon aspect to it and all that stuff. Plus you have Jeff Bridges playing off that as kind of the Greenpeace kind of hippy dippy guy.
I know my
and then
dad.
You have Jessica Lange kind of playing into the you know, the whole fame and fortune thing that kind of, you know, led into the late 70s and 80s.
I can't blame Kong for wanting to pop that top down. I can't blame that.
PG baby,
PG titties. Boom. But my dad loves Kong Skull Island. Anytime that is on TV, he stops and watches it. And like I remember when they were going to do the new Kong versus Godzilla, he's like, I don't want to see that fucking dinosaur tear apart King Kong. I love King Kong. Because he was like, he's going to win.
I remember I went like when theaters started opening back up. Like I think I saw Kong. I think I saw was it Godzilla versus Kong the Friday it came out. I was gonna watch. I wanted to watch it with friends on Thursday, like opening night, but all the tickets were fucking sold out. Like it was insane.
A bad movie.
Huh?
It wasn't a bad movie. It was all right.
Yeah, it was okay. I mean, like theater experience wise, it was kind of fun. I'd say like there are some parts that are like kind of like, especially the human stuff is pretty meh, but overall, like I was rooting more for Godzilla. That's just me though.
Not me. And I was rooting for King Kong. Nothing against Godzilla, but I was more of a Kong fan. So
I don't know. I just think I don't know. I always thought Godzilla. Well, I like Kong. Don't get me wrong, but I just think Godzilla could easily win. And here's the thing, Godzilla pretty much won if the humans didn't help him, like put that shockwave in him with the ship to like get his heartbeat back up and stuff. So technically, like Godzilla would have won if the humans hadn't, you know, been there.
I know, but that's what I'm saying.
That's the only part of the movie I didn't care for because traditionally Kong always wins.
Exactly. That's what I go. That's what I'm saying.
And there's a reason for it because originally Godzilla was not like this protector of Earth shit. That didn't come till a little later. In the original Godzilla versus Kong, King Kong was kind of like the protector of Earth in a way, more so, and Godzilla was the outsider. He kind of represented destruction and you know, nuclear fallout and war, as to where Kong was like, you know, coming from the jungle, he's more, you know, Earth-like, earthbound, Earth, you know, that kind of thing. So like to me, it's like, you're kind of fudging things a bit with that. King Kong should win that fight.
Yeah,
but he would be noble enough not to kill him. See, that's the thing.
Yeah,
Kong would take him down, but he wouldn't kill him.
Exactly. That's what I say too, because I was always, like I said, I was always more of a Kong fan.
I like Godzilla, but
because if Godzilla put up that much of a fight, he'd respect him. But yeah,
I need to watch more of the Godzilla stuff because I've been thinking, I haven't thought about it too much actually, but like I want to get that Criterion collection set of all the Godzilla stuff.
Yeah, I would love to get that myself too. I actually just found Godzilla in 1985 on VHS, so I bought that. So, but if you guys are ready, I guess I'll move on to me.
Yeah, we're done enough on King Kong.
Okay. This next one, I just actually released a review of this on my channel, so I got this do it quick because I know I got a couple that me and Runners got one in the same, and me and Tom's got one in the same. So I'll do this one real quick. And plus, this is the only physical media version you can find of this film, Babes in Toyland, starring Keanu Reeves and Drew Barrymore and Pat Morita and freaking Jill Schulen, who's smoking hot. I know her from a lot of horror movies. She's smoking hot. But yeah, I have
in Toyland.
Hey, what's up? It's Keanu Reeves. Wow. This was just something I saw on TV as a kid, and I enjoyed the hell out of it as a kid. Is it a good movie? No, but I loved the movie because how bad and cheesy it is, and it's like like I said, the people that's in it, I love the people that's in it, especially seeing them before they became like the big stars they are. And so this is literally the only physical media release.
I think Keanu Reeves has made sure of that.
Yeah,
because I think even when I saw that movie when it came out, because you got to remember, like, this was brought out after Keanu Reeves was a big deal. Like, this was, even though it was
right before Bill and Ted.
Well, actually, yeah, it was filmed before that, but they didn't bring it out on video until like
after
Point Break days kind of shit.
Yeah.
And when I saw that video at the store, I'm like, oh my God, I was embarrassed for Keanu. Like, I'm like, oh, he does not. I'm sure he does not want people to see
he
this
don't
shit.
want this. Like I said, it's like, yeah, it's really cheesy. It's really bad, but I love it because I've seen it as a kid, and it's just, you know, one of those things where like you see something as a kid and you loved it, and then you go back and you watch it as an adult, and you can see the flaws and you can see how bad it was, but you still kind of you have fun with it.
Well, you had this thing, yeah. Well, you had this thing in that era where you would have like, if somebody would break out big as a star, they would dig into classic films or older films that never did anything, in TV movies and foreign films. In the case of like Jim Carrey, they brought down like a Canadian film that he was in,
yeah,
you know, and like tried to make it out like it was a new Ace Ventura kind of movie. And same thing, we call it Rubber Face, even though he was like only the secondary star of the movie anyway, or whatever.
I remember, yeah.
Same thing, Adam Sandler with Going Overboard, or some shit like that.
And they even did one with Ryan Reynolds too, because he came from Canada. It was one of his Canadian movies where he's not even a star. Can't remember the name of it though. But yeah, Coeur d'Alene Road. Yes, Drew Barrymore was a big star.
Oh, was this a TV thing? Wasn't this like a TV special or some shit?
This was a TV special.
I was gonna say, so yeah, this was probably a vehicle for her. But at that period in time, you got to remember, in that awkward age, she didn't do shit.
Nope.
Between the age of like 5 and 6, somewhere in there, till like she was a teenager, almost an adult teenager, let's say, she didn't do jack shit, but end up in and out of rehab.
Yep, it's true. It's true. As
she's
for
like the only 13-year-old in fucking Alcoholics Anonymous.
It's true.
Well, that's not true. Her and Corey Haim, but yeah.
But this is the only release there is. But the thing here with this release is the one that because you can stream it on Amazon. Amazon has it where you can stream it, and they're only 94 minutes a piece. The actual full TV broadcast is 145 minutes long, and that has never been released. And the only way you can watch that is here on YouTube. So if you want to watch the actual 145-minute,
if you want to feel embarrassed for Keanu
for over 2 hours, 2.5 hours,
over 2.5 hours,
go ahead and search it. It's called the Director's Cut. It's on YouTube, but that's the
Babes
actual
in Toyland. No Way Home.
No Way Home. John Wick.
It's just as long.
Yeah, John Wick 5, The Destruction of Babes in Toyland. Chapter 5. But yeah, like the actual TV broadcast was 145 minutes long, and it's here on YouTube. But the one that's streaming on Amazon and the one that's on VHS is only because it was released theatrically in Germany, and they cut it down to 94 minutes. So
it wouldn't quite be 2.5 hours. It'd be just under, actually.
Yeah.
It'd be 2 hours and 25 minutes, I think, if my math is correct.
Yep, 225.
225. Cat's Eye and Firestarter were probably the last two that she did at that age before she was like older, and she kind of made a comeback with Poison Ivy, and then she did Scream, and then she was back in the big time again.
That's what I said. It's like it's one of them things where it's just like, yeah, everybody knew she was like famous Drew Barrymore, but she wasn't like Drew Barrymore.
Yeah, she did a lot of shit in that era. I'm trying to think. I can't even. There's probably a lot of TV shit, if anything, and Lord knows what else.
Yeah.
Straight to video type shit, probably. I don't even know.
Hell
Poison Ivy was barely a theatrical release, but it was a huge hit on video.
Yeah, well, she got naked in that, so.
Did she, or was it that other chick in it? I think it was. I don't think she did in that, but I could be wrong. You could be right.
Does she not? I don't know.
I don't remember now because I get the sequels mixed up with the first one. I don't think there's any nudity in the first one. I think it's all the sequels.
It might be because I remember you might be right.
The first one had her and what's her face from Roseanne.
Was it Alyssa Milano?
That's the sequels. Yeah,
I know Jamie Presley's in one.
Yeah, it's one of the down the road sequels.
I know.
I think Alyssa was in the sequel, second one, if I remember right. The first one's Drew Barrymore and what's her face who plays on Roseanne as
the Darlene.
Yeah.
See, I remember the Jamie Presley one and the final one because Jamie Presley gets full body nudity and like dances on a chair and everything. And then the fourth one, the last one, the chick from what's that football movie? With Ed O'Neill and they play little football. What's that called?
Oh, not Little Big League. I know what you're talking about. Little Giants.
Yeah, Little Giants. The chick from Little Giants is in the last one, and she goes buck naked too. So
Sarah Gilbert.
That's the only reason why I watched it. So
so that was the thing. Yeah, nobody got naked in the first Poison Ivy, but that one actually was a semi-decent movie.
Yeah, it was much.
But after that, it just became to straight to video. B schlock was a lot. I think nudity. Yeah. But I think Alyssa was in like the second one. I think.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, the first one is like this sort of a precursor to
kind
American
of a basic.
Beauty.
Oh, I was gonna say maybe a little Basic Instinct. Yeah, but a lot of American Beauty.
Basic
Lolita
Instinct,
in there.
American Beauty. Yeah, a little bit of both. Yeah, but anyways, we went well off topic from Babes in Toyland. But yeah, I figured I'd just do that quick because I did do a review on that, and yeah, I just that was
Merry Christmas.
And he's Jack Nimble in that movie. He's Jack Nimble.
Jack be nimble. Jack be quick. Jack jumped over a candlestick.
Oh, I wish I could get the trailer to play. Because speaking of Drew Barrymore, you got to see this part in the trailer. I cut it out in the video I did, but in the trailer, it shows a clip like of Drew Barrymore in the Toy Master, which is Pat Morita. He's Santa Claus. She's like in his place, and she's looking around, and where all the toys was, somebody put like a jar of cocaine. And so, like, it says Drew Barrymore looking at a jar of cocaine, and she licks her lips and smiles. Then it goes right back into the Babes in Toyland trailer, like it like flows seamlessly. Because I was watching the trailer, like, oh, I can't believe there's an actual trailer for this.
Jar of cocaine.
And then I'm watching it, I'm like, whoa, did I just see a jar of cocaine? What? So somebody edited it in.
Can you show us the trailer?
I would. I could try, but my internet gets wonky when I do that. So I'll give it a shot real quick.
Okay, because that'd be hilarious to react to.
Babes in Toyland.
Babes in Toyland. So you got to give me a minute because, like I said, this my internet kind of bogs down a bit when I open up more than one web page at a time. When I'm streaming, anyways.
Okay, that makes sense.
So. And you got to be careful. Be honest with you got to be careful typing in "Babes in Toyland" because you'll get some stuff. Because it does not bring up
toys and babes.
It does not bring up the movies right away unless you're specific. So be very careful.
Yeah. Craig's trying to make some excuses for his search history there.
No, I'm serious because I typed in "Babes in Toyland" and I was like, "This is not what I anticipated." So you got to be quite careful on that. So let me see if I can get it going for you guys. And I'm just going to skip it to that part of the trailer if I can get it up here. But yeah, seriously, be careful. Let me see here. Trying to get it because you guys know what happens when I play stuff. It just. Where are you at? Come on. There it is. I know, kind of going dead air here, but I'm trying to get it going. Come on, you stupid thing. Son of a bitch. Come on. All right. All right. Let's see if I can share it now. Share screen. Let me know if you guys can see this when it starts going, because I'm pretty sure it's going to glitch. So let me know. That's what I do. You're right, Victor Fontaine. I need a Mexican Iron Man producing my show. So that's what I need. Can you guys hear me okay?
That'd be great.
Is it popped up yet?
Yeah, now it's popped up.
So I'm hoping I hope it plays here. So it's coming close. I'm just going to just hit play from here. See if I can get it to. Can you guys hear it? Watch.
It's frozen.
Did you guys see it? Did anything come through?
No, it was too jittery.
Yeah,
I knew it.
It's very,
I knew
it's
it was
very
gonna,
glitchy.
I knew it was going to be.
Maybe it'll work if I do it. I don't know. I share it.
I knew it was going to be glitchy because I know when to do this. It just it does this all the time.
Greg, you can send me the link and I can try to figure it out. But send it to me with the right timestamp if you can.
I got to figure it out.
No, I think if you send it to someone else, like, it would work better.
I know that. That's why I don't play videos usually on here.
Ah, there it is.
Let's see. Do you see it?
See the cocaine jar? Yeah.
It's about 127, 128. But I'm going to go ahead and exit out here. Then I'll send you a link. See the cocaine?
I did see the cocaine part.
But there you guys go.
And there was another shot.
If you guys want to try it again,
at something.
Yeah, if you want to try it again, I put the link in the thing. But it's up to you guys. So, but we can move on if you want to. But yeah, it's like the trailer. It's like, I don't know if it's the actual trailer of the show, but it seems like it when you're watching it up until that point, and then it like cuts in a jar of cocaine, and you're like, okay, maybe this is. So.
Holy shit! Yeah, we gotta share this. This is fucking great.
But
let me bring it up. Hold on a second.
What's up, Cynical? Hell yes, that's what I call a white Christmas. Because I'm dreaming of a white Christmas. Oh, okay.
There we go.
Yeah. And it just cuts back to the toys and stuff like it's nothing. Hey,
no, here's the thing. Like, it just cuts back to her fucking like smiling.
Yeah.
Like here's the cocaine. Like that. Like the way you just cut it like that. That's hilarious.
It is. It's funny. All right, but I think we spent far too much time on this movie. So, Runner, do you want to do the one we got together there?
Yeah, sure. Let's do it.
All right, just turn on a count of 3 and then turn on your screen. 1, 2, 3. Since Tom brought his last week, we brought ours this week because we watched them.
Mm-hmm.
Christmas Vacation.
And I bought
We're
this.
so glad it's Christmas Vacation.
That's what I was about to start singing. We're so glad it's Christmas Vacation. I thought it was all right. I could totally tell it was not from a like maybe full on camera negative. It wasn't the greatest. It kind of almost felt like Blu-ray quality almost at times. So
I didn't mind it. I didn't think it was horrible.
It's not. It's better than the Blu-ray, but it's not like it's not the greatest. At least I saw some grain in there, and and the sound wasn't too bad. The HDR it wasn't too bad on it. So, what are your thoughts, Runner?
I thought it looked fine overall. Like, I have seen like comparison videos, and I thought, I mean the 4K and the Blu-ray do look very different if you actually compare the two. So I wouldn't exactly call it a Blu-ray looking transfer, but that's just me. Great movie overall, an absolute Christmas classic. Very funny. I don't know what else to say about it. It's fantastic. I'm very happy I got it.
Merry Christmas! Dinner was full!
Literally about to quote that. Damn it!
There you go.
I was literally about to say that the shitter was full.
It's honestly, I'll be honest with you, this is probably my favorite Christmas movie of all times. It's something I watch with my much like Planes, Trains, and Automobiles. This is one I definitely watch every year with my family, and I just think it's a freaking hilarious. I laugh every year as I watch it, so it's great. No, it's not Reservoir Dogs 4K quality. It's not bad. It is better than the Blu-ray, but it's not like a really great. It's not like a great 4K, but it's way better than the Blu-ray. So, I mean,
yeah, the Reservoir Dogs 4K is better.
Yeah. I mean, it's not like it's. I don't know how to say it because it looks good. There's some. I like that. I saw some grain in it. I like that the people didn't look like they looked like plastic, like they when they over DNR the shit. The color was all right.
Yeah, I actually
the color wasn't quite as natural as I remember. So yeah, I do think there was something done with the coloring there. So
I thought the blue tints on the snow kind of worked, at least for me, because of the lighting of the sky. Maybe that's
make
just
it feel more winter.
Yeah, exactly. Maybe that's just me, because like when I saw those 4K screenshots, I'm like, you know what? I actually kind of like that. It kind of looks like how I see snow at night, like almost any time.
Well, they live outside of Chicago, so
exactly that's the point. That's kind of why I liked. And I forgot that they were kind of in that area because John Hughes wrote it.
Yeah, it's always Chicago there. So
oh yeah, anything like involving John Hughes, like anything that has John Hughes's fingerprints, like it always takes place in Chicago for the most part. So I feel like the one movie I've
Sherman, Illinois.
I feel like the one movie of his I've seen where it doesn't take place in Chicago most of the time is Planes, Trains, and Automobiles.
But that's where he's trying to get home to.
Yeah.
Well, obviously, but like I'm just saying, like, because they traveled in like 2 other different locations in that. Obviously, they go to Chicago, but like it starts off in New York and then tries to get all the way there, but you explore, like, there's like other states involved.
About National Lampoon's Vacation.
Yeah.
The Christmas Vacation?
No, the first one.
Oh, it's the only vacation movie I've seen is the Christmas one.
No.
And European Vacation too, so they're not even in Chicago in that one.
Just get out.
So.
I'm sorry. I think I have European Vacation on Blu-ray. It came with that triple feature for.
I do not like European Vacation.
I've heard.
I don't hate it, but it's my Vegas Vacation and Christmas Eddie are worse. But yeah.
Oh, Eddie's Vegas Christmas. Oh my God, that was horrible.
I didn't watch European Vacation because exactly like what Greg said. I hear it wasn't that good. I only bought that triple feature because it came with Caddyshack and Blazing Saddles. It's the only reason I got that set.
First one and Christmas Vacation are the best. That's like the best too. So European Vacation is all. I can watch it, but it's just like I don't know what they were going for that one. So, yeah. Yeah, when are we going to get the first one on 4K? That would be nice. I would dig that one.
That was in Warner's commercial.
Yeah, it was, wasn't it? It was. So yeah, that's something to possibly look forward to. I'm down for that one. I'm down because I love the first one. That one
needs it. Plus, it needs the original audio put back too. Which makes no sense to me that they can't get the. I'm so excited because I think it's a Warner Brothers owned fucking deal anyway. But anyhow, evidently the one they always use in video is cheaper. So I figure.
Nice. I mean, I know European Vacation's got its love, and it's just I don't know. There's something about it that just I don't know.
I think I know part of it is because of the 3 John Hughes written ones. The first one and the third one are the ones that are based on actual stories that were in National Lampoon's magazine. I don't think European Vacation was. I think that was more based on John's experience over, as more of an adult overseas than anything, which could be part of it. I could be wrong, but that's just a hunch of mine.
That sounds pretty. Pretty
National Lampoon's Vacation is on Netflix. I might watch that tonight.
There you go.
There you go. But Tom, any final words, Runner, or anything?
I don't know. It's great movie. I love it. Honestly, cousin Eddie's probably the best part, just because of the shitters full scene. I love that so much.
My favorite, I absolutely love Save the Neck for Me, and I love when he's telling the story about when Santa Claus is on his way to the kids, and he goes, "You serious, Clark?" I love that scene because he so just deadpans it like he really. It's fun. But what's up, Grim Dark? Glad you're here. Hell, live long and prosper. But yeah, it's a great movie. I love the movie. If you've never seen Christmas Vacation, now is the time to see it. You really do not have to have seen any of the other vacation movies to see it. It's just a fun movie all around. So check it out if you guys want to. I guess real quick before we go, Vegas Vacation thoughts?
My next to least favorite besides Cousin Eddie.
I don't mind it too bad, but I did see it in theaters, so it is what it is. It was at the tail end, so yeah, that's my thoughts on it. Welcome, Raised on Fiction. All right, Tom, are you ready to move on to your you want to do the one we have together? I don't know how many more.
Sure, let's. I only got one after that. So
I only got one left, which is the one we got together.
Oh, so do you want me to do the other one first? I'll do that first.
Okay, go ahead.
B-rated one. Okay. I've never seen this movie before, and you may see this come back again because it's a 3-film set, but I only watched one of them. Silent Night, Deadly Night 3. Who the fuck comes up with this shit? My God. Okay. For those who aren't keeping up with the story thus far. First movie about a kid who sees his mother raped and murdered and his father murdered by a guy in a Santa Claus suit. Sends him nuts and crazy. Second film is about a kid who saw his brother killed who was in a Santa Claus suit. Okay. He got his head blown off on garbage day. Very sad. Now he is returned as Bill Moseley. And his brain has been reconstructed. And he's communicating from the chick that I think she's in that one show what David Lynch did, Twin Peaks. I'm not 100% sure.
Oh, yeah.
She played some blind chick horribly.
Yeah.
And This blind chick has like a psychic connection with Ricky, who is the character supposedly from part 2. There's a mad scientist doctor. You've got Robert Culpin here as a cop, who's probably the best part of the movie. This movie's batshit crazy and fucking insane. Because Ricky wakes up like a third of the way in, and he's like, he somehow is enraged by the color red. So he goes on this killing spree of killing anybody who shows him red. This movie's fucking stupid, folks. I thought I'd never even say that after the second one. I can't recommend it to anybody.
Should I get that? It's only like $11 at Best Buy.
He just said he couldn't recommend it to you.
I know, but I'm curious. Like, I know he doesn't recommend it, but I'm curious at least.
I haven't watched 4 and 5 yet.
I want to see your reaction for 4 and 5 if you ever watched those.
Well, and the funny thing is, I think 4 and 5 weren't even meant to be Silent Night, Deadly Night movies, if I remember right. Especially the one with Mickey Rooney in it, anyway. No, because he famously boycotted the original film.
See, I don't like the Silent Night, Deadly Night movies. No offense to anybody that does. I've never really been a huge fan of them.
Well, as I said in our private chat,
I would have thought you of all people would love them, Greg.
Yeah, I'm a little surprised because they're like seem like something you would like, because like the first movie to me is not what a lot of the controversy is. Like they banked on that controversy big time. I don't find the original film nearly as controversial as
it's really
people made it out to be. I found it to be probably one of the better Friday the 13th / Halloween ripoffs at that time. And
it's like a weird thing. I know that's like the movies I'm into, but for whatever reason, the like the Silent Night, Deadly Night movies just don't do it for me. I don't know why. But again, I'm not a huge fan of Christmas horror movies. That
could be part of it. To me, I just find the first one, enjoyable enough, at least for exploitation kind of slasher film, that's clearly a ripoff of Halloween, only in, the idea that we're going to take a holiday and make it into a horror film.
We had Silent Night, Deadly Night, Valentine's Day, all those. So
yeah, and then the second film is one of those movies that's just so fucking bad.
I do love the garbage day scene. I love that scene.
And really, like, and Runner hasn't seen it yet, so he doesn't know this, but like a good half of the movie is just a retelling of the first film.
It's just the first movie.
And then like the only new parts are like interweaved in until the end, and then like the last 20-30 minutes is this killing spree that the garbage day thing comes from.
That's my favorite scene. Which one is the one with the insane?
Probably the toy maker one, I would assume.
Probably that one.
Which would be the 5th one. Maybe the 4th one was meant to be a sequel. I don't know. I haven't watched it yet. I think that's the one that has Clint Howard in it.
From what I remember, because I don't think I've quite seen 4 and 5. I kind of stopped at 3, and it's been a long time since 3. So
I have seen 4, and I don't remember it having any connections with the other films.
Yeah, from what I remember is I think it's the same director on 4 and 5, right?
That maybe. Let me look.
I think it's what's his name. He did The Dentist, which is coming out too. So, Brian Yuzna, right?
It doesn't say on here.
I think Brian Yuzna did it, and he put Clint Howard in both the last two as sort of a way to try to connect them, but they're too different. Huh?
I said, he is in both of them? I didn't know.
Yeah, I think he's in, if I remember correctly. I think he's in 4 and 5, Clint Howard is. But I don't think he's playing the same character, and I think that's...
I know I've seen like 4 on video. Maybe it was 5. I can't even remember now.
Yeah.
I saw it on video back in the day. It was like way a long time ago.
It's just like weird. I don't know what it is about the Silent Night, Deadly Night movies. It's just... I don't know. For whatever reason, I just couldn't latch onto them. I don't know why.
This one was just one step over the line too far. First of all, it's just it takes itself a little too seriously, and it's pretentious. And I mean, I guess I give him credit for trying to do something, but it just goes too far into the weird realm where you literally have Ricky as this fucking Frankenstein monster, basically.
I just love how it's Bill Moseley.
It's such a stretch. It is just so like he doesn't even have any lines from what I remember. So like, yeah. Or maybe he does, but only in the dream sequences.
Does he really talk? I don't remember. Like
he doesn't
in the. So
I don't think in the main part, but he does have a couple of lines in the dream sequences.
That makes sense.
But yeah, so we'll see if I get to 4 and 5 by next year. Maybe I'll watch them this week and we'll talk about them next week.
maybe. I'd be interested because you're like the take on the third movie there.
Oh my god, it was horrible. It was almost like it was trying so hard to be bad too. It was like, there should be some connection here. This is just weird. Just the whole thing is just weird.
This is craziness, man. It's craziness. And I do like how that guy, it became Bill Moseley. I mean,
yeah.
Who would have thought?
Yep.
All right. Runner, how many do you have left?
2.
You have 2. So you go ahead and show, because I have one. Me and Tom have the same one. Like you and I had the same one. So go ahead and show one.
Me or Tom?
You. Oh, I hit Tom. Sorry.
Yeah, what a dick.
Oh yeah, because I'm a dick because I made a mistake. Nobody calls your mom a dick for making a mistake.
Okay. You have to bring my mom into this conversation, but whatever.
I'm sorry, go on, man.
I watched this movie for the first time last year, and I thought it was very good. It's a very fun movie. I know both of you have more than likely have seen it. Don't say you haven't, Greg. And I know you. You're gonna say never saw it.
Saw it like 10 times.
Oh, really?
Who do you know now, motherfucker?
Well, guess what, Greg? I need to tell you something.
I'm just messing with
Put the cookie down now.
Jingle all the way. Little Anakin Skywalker.
That's funny.
So, thoughts on the movie?
That's great. It's great, of course. It's Arnold Schwarzenegger. Very good movie. Turbo Man. Remember, you're my number one customer.
You don't ever say that to your kid.
Yeah.
Sinbad, he plays pretty funny character in that.
I need to rewatch it though, because I just bought this for like $6. This Blu-ray.
So. He brings it out. He goes, I know we've all seen this 100 times. I'm sure you've seen it a ton of times. I need to rewatch this.
I do. Well, I want to at least show it, okay? Because I have seen it, okay? I watched a lot of movies this week so far. I couldn't get to all of them, okay? And some of the stuff I watched like a few days ago aren't even Christmas movies. I'm gonna save those for next week. Damn it. I feel so bad. It's a fun movie. The third act is brilliant, honestly, with the whole parade thing and all that. I think the whole bit where the boy finds out that his dad's Turbo Man, I think is really cool. I thought that was well executed and everything. It's a great movie.
It was, if I remember, wasn't this like a flop of a movie?
I have no idea.
I'm pretty sure it was a flop. It was. I'm not really sure, but it's a fun movie. I've seen it a million times.
And apparently, I don't know if you knew this, Greg, but apparently there's like an end credit scene in this movie.
That I probably don't think I remember. Actually, no, I don't remember that.
I guess Arnold talks to I forget Arnold's character's name.
Yeah, I don't remember the character's name in that movie. I know he's the dad.
Exactly. So he talks to his wife at the very end. They like hug or whatever, and then she's like, "So since you gave oh God, the boy's name, isn't it like Jacob or something?"
I don't remember. I just call him Little Anakin. That's just what I remember.
Is it Jake Lloyd?
It's Jake Lloyd is who it is, yeah.
Yeah. I'm Little Anakin. Let's just go with Little Anakin. So he gives Little Anakin the gift that he wants, Turbo Man. Or well, I guess he doesn't get Turbo Man. I guess his dad technically is Turbo Man.
You know what's funny about that is that I actually had a Turbo Man toy. And my nephew loved that toy. He played with it a lot, and he hid it one day and under the stove. You know how the stove has the pull-out drawer on the bottom of the oven, and we had at that time we had a gas stove, so he hid it under there, and we didn't know. So when we turned on the oven one day, and we were smelling something, we was like, what is that? What the hell is that? And then we go in there, and he's like, oh God, I remember. And we pulled out the drawer, and it's like a melted Turbo Man in the bottom of the oven drawer where the pans and stuff were supposed to go. Just like when it was one of the original Turbo Mans at the time of the movie came out, not the repurposed ones that they got now, where you could buy at Walmart last year. So
yeah,
it was one of the original ones, and it was melted. It was bad.
That
It made him so sad because he loved it. Because I never really played with it. Because by the time we got it, it was like I just had it because of the movie, and so I let him have it, and it just yeah.
Damn.
Yeah.
No, but the wife basically tells him like, "Hey, since you gave our son a gift, did you give me anything?" And then Arnold just looks at the camera like so worried. He's like, "Oh, I fucked up." he gives the "Oh, I fucked up" face to the camera.
Why did Arnold do Jingle All the Way? Money.
Yeah, of course.
Pretty much.
Why wouldn't he do it, honestly? but I'll be honest with you. I've always been more of a Stallone guy than a Schwarzenegger guy.
That's like a totally different conversation, man.
And I'm just saying, like I like Stallone as a, I don't know. I think he's a better, what do you call it? I look up to Stallone more than Arnold, in my opinion. That's just me, though.
All right.
I don't know how that's a different conversation, but
well, you go into like who's your favorite action star actor, Arnold, Stallone. It's like a big conversation, because everybody's got their favorites and stuff. So
yeah, no, Stallone's my favorite. Like I like Arnold, I like some of his movies, but they're not always my go-to. Like I'll pick a Stallone flick most of the time over an Arnold flick or a Schwarzenegger flick. Yeah.
Well, Conan rules.
I still need to watch Conan.
You gotta watch Conan.
I know. I here's the thing. I wanted to read like some of the comics if I could get a hold of them.
I'm sure you can get collected editions of them, like a big book of them.
No, I wanted to like buy like some trade paperbacks if I could find them or buy them online, but like I don't know.
What's up, Tim Hayes? Glad to see you.
That's the problem. I don't know where to like start with Conan when it comes to like the source material and all of that.
Yeah,
I do plan on watching the movies sometime soon.
Yeah,
because I hear they're good.
Stallone can speak elegant English. In Tango and Cash, my jaw dropped the first time I heard him in that movie.
Tango and Cash is great.
It is.
I love that movie.
But
dude, I remember hearing about Tango and Cash. I just remember hearing like, oh, Stallone and Kurt Russell are in a buddy cop movie together. I'm like, holy shit, I'm seeing this now.
It's a great movie. But any final words on Jingle All the Way?
No, good movie. If you haven't seen it, watch it. I'm definitely gonna watch it before Christmas. There's no doubt.
Cool. All right, Tom. Before we get into showing the ones we have, I just found this. I uploaded it real quick. So, because speaking of Bill Moseley and Christmas, since you watched all that, if I get a claim for this, I'll just cut this part out. But you got to see this. This is hilarious. Well, at least I find it hilarious. So you guys might not. So get ready.
It's Christmas time at Crazy Dance's Discount Mart in Holliston. Other stores call their December sales holiday sales because they don't want to offend anybody. But I say, you, it's Christmas. You say it's Hanukkah too? No one cares. Let's celebrate Christmas with 100 count packs of Q-tips for only $1. Or this generic windshield washer / baby shampoo, 10-gallon bottle for only 99 cents. Know someone who deserves coal? How about a syringe full of syphilis DB for $1? I'm Crazy Max, and if you can't find it here this Christmas, you're retired.
Where's that from?
It's from a TV show called Holliston.
Oh.
It was about like horror. It's like a bunch of horror guys. Right. Yeah, and he's like plays local, sales guy. His Crazy Max commercials, and that was his Christmas one. So I just thought that was freaking hilarious.
The very end made me chuckle a little bit. That's about it. Most of it, I'm like, really?
It's meant to be cheesy and over the top bad, like one of them old TV commercials you would see.
No, I know, I understand that
from like a local town, like a small local town. So I just thought that was pretty funny, especially considering like Silent Night, Deadly Night. He was in his Christmas outfit there. That's why I just brought it in.
No, like at the very end where he's like, "Yeah, right, tired."
He was doing his Boston accent.
The very end kind of chuckled me a little bit, but like for the most part, I'm like, I didn't laugh at all until that very end. So when you said, like, before you played the video or the clip, I was like, oh, if Greg thinks it's funny, it's probably not going to be funny.
Hey, shut up.
Funny.
It's funny. I had a thing. But good night, Brian Barth. Glad you stopped by. Thanks for hanging with us. But, Tom, if you're ready to do our pick, if you want to go ahead and do it. So.
Sorry, I was just doing something here in the background.
Okay,
2 more seconds and I'll be ready. If you want to go ahead and start, I'll pick up with you.
All right, I'll show mine first, and then you can join in when you're ready.
Yeah.
So, I recently just watched this movie after quite a few years of not seeing it, and I know Tom has just recently watched it as well too after quite a few years of not seeing it. But that would be Santa Claus the movie, starring Dudley Moore. Made by the Salkinds, who did Superman, the original Christopher Reeve Superman movies. This was the big budget Return of Santa Claus from back in 1985. It actually holds up pretty well. I haven't seen this movie in quite some time. It does, like I said, it does star Dudley Moore, but it also stars John Lithgow and David Huddleston plays Santa Claus, and it does have Burgess Meredith in it as well too from the Rocky movie. Speaking of which, and it's essentially Superman. This is like everything they, like Tom mentioned once before we was talking about it. Everything they learned on Superman, they pretty much put into this movie, and this movie is pretty much the Superman version of Santa Claus. And it's just it was a pretty fun movie. I loved it. Santa Claus, I actually have this on VHS too. So basically it's the story of Santa Claus. It's this kindly toy maker, Santa Claus, who's delivering toys to a bunch of the kids, and then they get caught in a snowstorm, and then the elves come out and save them and take them back to their, like, the North Pole home, and they become eternal, and they give him the sleigh. He has 2 reindeer already. They give him the rest of the reindeer, and it's his decades. It shows him throughout the decades delivering presents, everything till it makes it like to the 80s, which was modern times. And then you got John Lithgow comes in, basically playing Lex Luthor. and he's like this toy maker in New York City he puts like sawdust and screws and stuff in his toys, and he's under investigation. And then Dudley Moore is an elf up at the North Pole who wants to make Santa happy. So he has all these ideals. So he kind of he goes to New York City. He starts working with John Lithgow, and that's where the whole thing comes in. It's pretty much a Superman movie. Yeah, Super Claus. So that's pretty much it. And now it's fun. I haven't seen this, and this Blu-ray is pretty cool Blu-ray. I hadn't watched my Blu-ray in a long time, and it actually has a pretty good scan on it. And it is a scan, though, from Studio Canal. I always thought it was a Warner's Brothers movie, but I was wrong. It's a Lionsgate. Brothers. Yeah, Warner's Brothers. And there's Warner's sister Dot.
Yeah. No, like as you said, you could totally tell by watching this movie. You're like, you know what? The Salkins are sitting there going, with all this money we spent on Superman, now that we made Supergirl, what else could we do that could utilize all these same special effects and stuff like that we've learned from Superman? Santa Claus the movie.
Yep. There's some beats that are like beat for beat Superman, even like with the newspaper spinning and showing you stuff. So.
I don't think I've seen this movie. Probably not, because
I would say you probably haven't.
I have seen some of that same Blu-ray in the Best Buy shelves in the Christmas area.
It's not a bad movie.
It's actually kind of pretty good. Yeah, like I mean, I may have some nostalgia for it from a kid kind of thing, but I mean, I don't think it did well in the box office. I think it kind of flopped, but
yeah,
I remember every year that it was on TV as a kid, it was a big deal. So like, yeah, like at that, and I'm sure that the TV version was probably some extended cut that we never known the cell kinds from my recollection. Because like, there's some about it watching this time. It feels like there's something missing, or like. I don't know if I'm like remembering a totally different movie, but I'm like, I just wonder if there wasn't like a 3 or 4 hour version of this, because the Salkinds liked to do the same thing. Speaking of King Kong, that Dino De Laurentiis liked to do, and that is add a shit ton of footage so they could usually split it up over 2 nights.
Yep,
and get more money for it. And for some reason, I remember the version on television of Santa Claus the movie being excessively longer than this.
Me too. Because when I was watching the Blu-ray, it kind of flew by, and I don't know if it was because I was enjoying it more. I
swear there's more of Lithgow and Dudley Moore, and there's some more darker elements that aren't in this version. I swear.
That's what I was thinking.
You're right. This version just seems to fly by, and it's like, I do not remember this movie being so compact. There's like, I feel like there's shit missing.
It's funny. I just grabbed this. Because I do have the VHS too, which I just found the original. I prefer
this thing. I love that cover. Yeah,
I love it much better than that. And I'm looking. This one says it's 104 minutes, and this one says it's 109 minutes. So
I don't know if there's much difference there. There is a couple of deleted scenes on the Blu-ray.
Yeah,
but like not a shit ton.
Not much.
But somebody would probably know out there, or we could probably look it up. I'll look it up right now.
Yeah, that's what. Like I agree with you, because I was watching it. And I haven't seen it in a few years myself. And
I don't know if I've ever seen it on video, to be honest with you. I think I've only seen the TV cut.
Yeah, I think up until I just found this, I think I had only ever seen it on TV myself. But yeah, I was watching the Blu-ray, not the VHS. I was watching the Blu-ray, and I was thinking it kind of flew by.
It doesn't list an alternate version or anything.
Now I'm curious if I put this VHS, because I haven't watched this VHS. I wonder if there's difference to it or something. I don't know. I doubt it though.
I doubt it too. It's probably just a discrepancy.
Yeah. But I do love the poster art on this VHS. I wish it was on I really do wish that was on the Blu-ray. You gotta love that old cover art like that. But yeah, I had fun with it. It had been a few years, and I do remember like the last time I saw it, I thought it was like almost like a 2.5 hour long movie, and this time it just was like I was really into it or just I don't know. It was fun. It was a good time.
Yeah, I'm not seeing anything in here about a alternate version of any kind. Maybe it's just us thinking that, or we're mixing up with other things too. Very well be.
Maybe. I know they got the maybe it's the thing on there because they have the making of, and they do it as if Santa Claus is.
Yeah, there's that too, and
Yeah.
I kind of maybe they showed that at the same time, and whatever.
Maybe that's what it was. Maybe I bet that's what it was. I bet it was they showed the making before the movie, and then when you watch the movie, so it kind of all flows together.
Maybe I'm not wrong. Who knows?
Who knows? Anytime. But yeah, it was a good one. Oh.
Yeah, I enjoyed it a lot more than I thought I was going to.
Yeah. It's fun. I remember liking John Lithgow's performance, and I thought he was crazy and off the wall. And you, after watching it, and when you talked about how you said it was more like Superman, I could really have pictured John Lithgow playing Lex Luthor at one point in time in another Superman movie.
Very much so, yeah.
Yeah. But
no, I'm not finding anything about it, so yeah, maybe it's just my brain. All right,
I agree with you. I kind of remember it being longer myself. So,
well, we're done.
Yeah,
that's it.
That's it for us, Runner. Yeah. Did you have one more? You say, Runner?
I did have one more.
All right, we'll finish off with your last pick.
All right, and this movie right here is probably my go-to Christmas movie most of the time. I think it's very, very fucking funny. I'm so happy I got this 4K, and it's a very good transfer. This always made me laugh when I was a kid, and I don't know what else to say. I just think it's fucking brilliant. You guys probably don't like this movie as much as I do, but
I actually do like the movie.
I know you like the movie, but not as much as me.
Probably not, because I wasn't a kid when I saw it like you were. So
yeah. Well, this movie came out the year I was born, so it was quite a while. I always thought the movie came out.
You always reminded me that I'm old.
I always thought. I guess here's the thing. I always thought the movie came out like before I was born. For some reason.
Always reminded me I'm old. I liked Elf. I've heard good things about the transfer. I know Tom actually liked it this time around when he watched it. And I was actually just watching this on TV yesterday.
I thought Tom wasn't too impressed with the transfer. Or maybe I'm wrong.
No, I said I didn't originally like the film all that much, but I kind of this time out I enjoyed it a lot more. It aged better. And I thought the transfer was pretty good.
Yeah. Well, if you compare it to the Blu-ray, absolutely. Like, because I watched the Blu-ray, because the Blu-ray in this thing is like, it's the same, it's the original Blu-ray from New Line.
No.
Like, because you know how like Warner Brothers, like they'll have like, kind of like with the Poltergeist and the Lost Boys, it's like it's a different Blu-ray with the same like transfer. This is not it. This is the same Blu-ray. Only because like I never owned the Blu-ray, but I know it because of the cover.
Yeah.
And it doesn't have the Warner Brothers logo on it. It's the New Line logo, and the 4K is both the New Line and the Warner Brothers.
Cheers, Dalton B. Merry Christmas to you. Thanks for stopping by, man.
That's why it was easy to figure out, but I just thought the whole comedy bits like worked so well, especially when he gets out of the North Pole.
I love the snowball fight scene. I love that when he gets in a fight with Santa Claus. You sit on a throne of lies.
Lies, yes.
That line should have been like in a fantasy movie. That's a fun movie. I liked it. I enjoyed it. I was actually on TV, like I said, it was on TV the other day, and I was watching it on TV the other day. I didn't watch it all. I just was watching a few parts of it.
Liar.
I'm actually gonna run out, guys, because I'm actually supposed to go to a meeting. So I love you all. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas, Tom. Have a good one.
I'm gonna pull a runner and run out.
All right. We'll see you later, Tom. Thanks.
Take care, guys.
See you, Tom.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas. Yeah, I just think it's great. it's pretty quotable if you've seen it a decent amount of times. Like oh my god, I love it. The guy, the people that like direct traffic and shit in big cities. He's like waving his hand,
Yeah.
and then Buddy just comes up and is like, "Hi."
I always wondered if that was like some of the stuff when he's walking around and he's like waving at that guy and he's getting in front of them cars and stuff. I wonder if that like was like they just took a camera and filmed him and let him do that stuff. So I wonder if
I don't know,
because it kind of feels like natural. Like those are like actual real people reacting to him doing what he's doing. So
and also the I don't know if the animals and shit were animals and stuff in it were probably like claymation, right? In the North Pole, like the walrus dude.
Yeah, it was very much like the
Mr. Narwhal.
Yeah, like the Rudolph movies and Santa Claus Come to Town animation type style. That's what it was like there for.
I was gonna say because I loved that. I thought I worked very well with the movie, especially the snowman guy.
Oh yeah,
who talks to Buddy at one point because he finds out that about his dad and his family and all that. I love it when he finds out that his dad's in the naughty list. It's so fucking good.
No. It's a fun movie. It's a fun movie.
It is super fun.
Feeling tough. Call me Elf one more time. One more time.
Oh
you must
my
be
god,
a South Pole elf.
Oh my god, dude. The South Pole elf thing made me laugh so much watching it now.
Yeah, it was hilarious.
This movie also pretty much introduced me to Will Ferrell.
No, really?
Yeah.
Well, I knew him well before then, so.
well, no shit.
Night at the Roxbury, Saturday Night Live. When it was actually funny and not all political crap.
Oh, I know. Yeah, I understand. What else? And I even laughed at how the animals would talk, especially when Buddy like leaves. Like the fucking like walrus is like crying his ass out. It's like
yeah.
And then bye, Buddy. Thanks, Mr. Narwhal.
Yeah.
And the score and everything is amazing.
Jon Favreau, man.
And dude, like it's just the music is like fucking magic, dude. Like, maybe that's what did it for me was the music and everything. And yeah, Jon Favreau, like you said,
yeah,
this is great director.
And I do love the fact that they use a lot of the tricks from Lord of the Rings for that movie. Like that was made not long after the Lord of the Rings movies, and a lot of stuff that was used on Lord of the Rings for the actually, the hobbits and stuff, and even like in the park with the 4 guys on the horse. That's all like they use like Lord of the Rings technology in this Christmas movie.
That's actually this came out the same year as Return of the King.
That's what I said.
So yeah.
Yeah.
You didn't say that. You just said it came out right around when the Lord of the Rings movie came out. It's like, no.
I said right at the end of the Lord of the Rings movies.
I didn't think you said that.
That's what I said.
Right when the Lord of the Rings movies
I said right at the end of the Lord of the Rings movies.
You did not say end.
Yes, I did.
I don't remember you saying that. But if you did, I would be wrong if you did.
You're wrong, but okay.
Well, I don't know, okay? Damn it.
Oh, I know.
You're such a dick.
What is up, Cosmic Squirrel? Welcome, my friend.
What's up, Cosmic Squirrel?
Yeah, it's fun. It's just I love the technology because like when they're the elves are like 3 miles away, while like the camera, Will Ferrell and like Santa Claus are like right in front of the camera. So like the way they shoot it, that's like the Lord of the Rings style, like how they did the Hobbits. So they look like they're small and they're right there, but they're really like 3 miles away from each other.
Oh yeah, I did very much notice that. Like, shut up, Dan, dick. Like there's that one shot in particular where it kind of like gave it away, where was it Buddy's trying to make toys, but he's like he's not really great at doing them.
Yeah.
So he calls himself I forgot the exact saying, like
Cotton-headed ninny muggins.
Cotton-headed mini muggins, yeah. I never got to say that right. And isn't that one elf Ralphie from A Christmas Story?
Yep, that's Ralphie, because he's really good friends with Jon Favreau and Vince Vaughn.
That's dope. Yeah, like, no, because there's that shot of I always forget the guy's name, the guy who plays Ralphie, but like there's that shot of him and Will Ferrell, and you could tell like he was like Will Ferrell was like up close to the camera, whereas he was like further back.
Yeah, there's certain shots you can, like, going back now, you can sort of see, but like back then you couldn't really tell. I mean, they didn't have the budget of the Lord of the Rings movies, so but they were using their technology, so so it worked out in certain ways.
Have you seen these toilets? They're ginormous. I love it when he like actually gets to New York City and he's like blown. He's like, his mind is like blown, and he acts like the way he interacts with people and even just things is like just so good.
Yeah, I love when he gets his dad lingerie because it says for somebody special.
Yeah, that was
funny. Yeah,
that was super funny.
What up, Stephen Luther? But and I guess that's about it.
Speaking of giving his dad lingerie, James Caan was great.
Yeah, James Caan was awesome. Yeah.
May he rest in peace.
Yes, Brett Cohen. It's forced perspective tech. That's what it was. Yeah. Yeah, James Caan was great playing like the Scrooge type character who,
Yeah, it worked very well too.
Who needed a little bit of a life lesson. So. But I guess we'll wrap it up here. Any final words, Runner? Anything you want to say or promote or anything?
No. As of I'm working on a project for someone. I'm trying to edit it all down right now. That's about it. That's all I'm gonna say. I can't really explain it. It's Christmas related.
Okay.
It's nothing like super special, but I'm editing it down to a point where people could watch it. I'll say it that much. I'll tell Greg what it is at the end of the stream. I'm not going to tell everyone else. I want to leave it kind of a surprise.
It's my precious.
I hope it turns that way. That'd be great.
Cool. Well, thank you, Runner, for being here. Thank you I know Tom's gone, but thank you, Tom, as well, for coming back on as always. Hail to everybody that was watching and everybody in the chat. Joey, Deleted Scenes, Brett Cohen, Stephen Luther, Tim Hayes, Cosmic Squirrel, Random Brad Creator, Dan Blackroyd, the Peter Venkman fan site, Corleone Rogue. I want to make sure I get as many of you guys as I can say that we're here because you guys rocked the chat tonight. I dug the chat. You guys are awesome. I think you guys, seriously, everybody in the chat, Style Section, Bright Barth, Victor Fontaine. If I didn't say your name, I apologize, but thank you guys for hanging in the chat for us. This little channel of mine it's not huge. It's not huge, but I have a lot of inverse opinion. Thank you as well. I have a lot of fun doing this, and I do this for you guys, myself and you guys, and I hope we gave you guys some good movies to choose from for Christmas or just good movies to pick. And Stephen Luther, yes. I will take some of your digital codes if you have them. I don't mind them. I'll take them. You can send them to me. But thank you, seriously, guys. Everybody watching. I hope you guys all. Holy shit.
Dude.
Victor Fontaine, you just made my Christmas. Thank you very, very much for the $99.99 super chat. Says, Merry Christmas, Greg and Runner. After Mama Susan takes her cut, you each should be able to buy 1 or 2 of your weekly picks. Greg, make sure you share this Christmas gift with Runner. You know what? I may send you something, Runner. Who knows?
All right. I'll
take it. But Victor, I'll be honest with you. I won't get this money till next month. So that's how it works with YouTube.
Well, if Greg's giving me something, I might as well give him something in return.
I may. We'll see. I might get you a little something since for everything you do. But thank you very, very much, Victor Fontaine. I got to find something.
Dude, shout out to you, brother.
Yeah, shout out to you very, very much. I want to give you a good. Here, take this one.
On USA. All night.
Have a little Rhonda. I love me some Rhonda this year.
You know, in that second, I think it was the second to last clip, she said up once and then she said, ah.
Yeah.
Like right afterward. I thought that was funny.
Yeah. I very much appreciate it, Victor. It will go to good stuff. And like I said, I appreciate everyone. I truly appreciate every one of you guys in the chat and everybody watching and Runner and Tom and everybody that comes on here and everybody that interacts. I may not, like I said, I may not be a huge channel and I'm okay with one day. Yes, I do hope to be a huge channel, but I'm okay where I am right now. And I appreciate everybody, my channel members, my regular members, just everybody. I'm very humbled because I'm going to have a thank you video for you guys for Christmas. So I don't want to say it all too much right now, but truly, thank you guys. And thank you, Victor Fontaine. Very, very much appreciative.
Now I want to say something real quick when it comes to the whole physical media thing. So hopefully if I can try to figure out this whole schedule for next year, maybe I'll start putting out more content, and I want to be like more of a physical media heavy focused channel.
There you go. I look forward to it. Runner.
I want to make it different than other channels, though. That's the problem. I got to figure that whole thing out.
You just figure it out and do it your style the way you like to do. You don't have to copy. Just do what you can.
Oh no!
Merry Christmas, Tyrell72, because I think I did forget saying you. Shout out to you as well too, because I know you're always here with us as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
Appreciate that,
brother. Well, no, yeah, exactly. I don't want to copy other people. That's the thing. I want to try to give it my own style.
My suggestion to you is kind of like a lot of us. What we do, like even what I do, is watch people that do physical media stuff in their videos and stuff. Kind of take notes of what you like, but then do it your way. And you don't, because like I know I do like a lot of mine is physical media, but I try not to just be physical media. You know what I mean? Because you want to be able to have all types of options and reach out into all types of ways. So
yeah.
But you do it in your style, the way you like, if you can get into it, and that's how you do. That's how you roll. But once again, seriously, I'm very humbled, Victor Fontaine. I'm very humbled by everybody here, as always. I mean, 25 to 30 people watching me every Wednesday night just is like, it's mind blowing to me. So I am truly, truly humbled, and thank you all. And with that being said, don't take offense to this, but you don't have to go home and you can't stay here.
Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas. Kiss my ass. Kiss his ass. Kiss your ass. Happy Hanukkah.